I looked at the thing and was like, wait.
Wow. You won this round, Susan.
You get it right, get it right. Every night, 매 순간 널 데려가, yeah. You get it right. Look at it, the starlight. Oh yeah. I know you like you know, babe. 'Cause you always be my baby. Who that? I don't care about nobody else tonight. What it do? Tell me what it serve it up. I don't kiss and tell, but that's right. Can't stop the 채같은 너 이미 닫혀버린 너 Looking in the mirror 거울 속에 비친 stuck in the middle 내가 들어온 내 paradise yeah, yeah I'm lost but I like it
Honestly, these levels will never level correctly for me.
Oh, it's like, is it just me?
I don't know actually how like I assume that any levels I put for myself, like in the background, it's like mutual across anyone who's in the chat, but I actually don't know for sure. So let me know. But it honestly was kind of loud. I'm with these headphones that don't really like they're these like cheap kind of skull candy headphones because I don't want to wear like a big thing. So they're not that great at like relaying like the intricacies of like the levels and stuff. So yeah, let me know if it's too loud. But welcome everyone to the Sleepy Idol, a little podcast / bar on 34th and Crenshaw. We can sit back, relax, and talk K-pop with your friends. I am joined as always by my lovely host. There you go. Oh. Jazz. How are you?
For a second, I was like, am I supposed to introduce myself? I don't know. I'm good. You know, it's Saturday.
It is. That is a good point. We are on Saturday today, guys. Thanks for being flexible. I don't know what it is, but like Wednesdays are still good for me, but they always creep up on me. Like, I feel like
it is the middle of the week, so.
That's true. And I feel like that's always my do or die point at work. Either like I'm on a good track to finish everything that I need to, or I realize that I have to somehow make time out of thin air so I can like finish all my assignments and stuff. It's so bad. It is so bad. Like it's not even that bad because I can flex my hours. Like, so if I work late, I can just like change like the next day. So I like, you know, can account for those hours. But I don't know.
Lucky.
It's exhausting. Yeah, it is really lucky. I feel like I take it for granted all the time though.
I mean, I would if I could, but I have to be at work.
Yeah, you physically have to be there. That sucks.
I will say that this week we did have like a big like celebration. So it was like Thursday. We didn't really do much.
For Juneteenth?
Oh, no. We have off for Juneteenth though. So.
Oh, nice. Nice. Wait, is it a federal holiday?
Well, it's yeah, it's a bank holiday.
I don't understand what that is. Like, is that
bank
just
holiday?
Yeah, is that just
it's
when
a holiday that the banks close? Like, you can't go to the bank. The
and
stock, actually, it's a stock and bank, I think. So the stock market is also closed on those days. So
you learn something every day,
and that's how my work days are configured.
That's a lot of days, though.
No, it's not.
I feel like that's more.
You don't have floating holidays or whatever that's called, like where it's like, you know, we go back to work immediately after Thanksgiving. We only have New Year's Day off. We don't have New Year's Eve off. Mm-hmm. We only have Christmas Eve off. I mean, Christmas Day off, but we don't have, I think so the eves don't count.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's how my job works too, but like, it's kind of just like you take that, like everyone knows that the people are going to just use their PTO and take that day off. So it's like, but my work doesn't recognize a lot of holidays, but I feel like we get a lot of days like PTO time. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it like weighs out. But yeah, we also get this thing that makes me feel so young and childlike when there's like a holiday where we have off on a Monday. We'll have an early dismissal on Friday, so we'll get off at 2 instead of 5. Yeah, it's so cute and fun.
2 instead of 5. When I see that, I'm like, I was getting off at 2 anyway.
I was leaving.
Usually I'm like, because I usually log in at 7 and I'm like, I'm gone at 3. So it's like the fact when they say like, oh, you can leave at 2, I'm like, Thank you. Whoa.
Oh, that's true. Oh my god, you should come in later those days then, so it's like
Yeah, usually for
comparable.
Fridays though, like I can work whenever, but like I still prefer to just be like, well, I worked the 8 hours, so
Mhm.
you don't have to see me anymore.
That's fair. When I was first started working like a real job when I finished college, I used to do that same thing. I would come in so early so I could leave at 3, but mostly it was because I like to avoid traffic and
Yep,
like
that's
taking the
why.
bus.
That's
Okay.
really the reason.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, hi guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Yes, this is a special Friday show. I am drinking sparkling ice. Don't let me lie to you, y'all. Jazz, are you drinking anything?
Water. I got a Owala.
Oh, that's like the new girl in like
Yeah.
hydration. You're
It's
on the
also
curve.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's
Is that like a
Ravenclaw.
new Oh, I
The
need to get
colors
a
of Ravenclaw at least.
Is that like a new thing that they released? Like a
I
line,
don't
Harry
know.
Potter line?
I was like, because they usually have such odd colors for Owala, and like I was looking at what colors they have, and I just happened to find the Harry Potter ones, and I was like, oh okay, I'll
Mm.
take that.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I think I've seen those at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was like, okay, let's see what the pink one is looking like, and it's like hot pink, and I'm like, ew, and like green or something. So I'm
You
just
go on
like, stop playing
Amazon.
with me. Yeah. All right, guys, we're actually just gonna jump right into it because I feel like this first topic might take several days and several nights to cover. And of course, I guess at this point it's maybe like 5 days old. I was really hoping it wouldn't reach a week if we decided to stream today instead of on Wednesday. But I think at the time when we stream, or if when we were going to stream, it was fairly new. But at this point, it's not as new. And of course, I'm talking about this video that the company B-Lift, which is one of the subsidiaries. I realize I've been pronouncing that wrong the whole time. It's
What?
subsidiaries, not I've been saying subsidiaries.
I I think I said wow, I can't even say it now. But I think I say it that way. But I think I used to think it was subsidiaries because I think I've heard people say that.
Yeah, but that's definitely a word, but I think it means something like it means something completely different, but I did
Yeah.
not know the difference. Yeah, so subsidiaries. And also, on that note, I've also been pronouncing Ilit's name wrong. It's Islet.
Eyelid, yeah, and I refuse to say that because what is that? It sounds like eyelid.
Maybe I need to go back into their lore and see what they said that their name means.
Also, why spell it that way?
That's true. Maybe it's like you're supposed to like because the I is cap. I've never seen it like written out honestly because I feel like maybe the I is capital and that you're supposed to say
I think
I
it's just
lit
illit, isn't it?
like I is one.
I swear every time I see illit, yeah, it's just all caps illit.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I guess eyelid.
So it's not my fault. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's such a testament to like if you are into K-pop, learn Hangul, and then anytime you want to know what something's actually pronounced like, just read it out in Hangul instead of like trying to like because it will never be what it seems.
Or
But
just
yeah.
be ignorant like me. You know? I mean, I know how to read it, but I refuse. Like G idol is G idol. It is
I
not Yoja idol or
but
whatever
the
the heck.
Yoja is silent though, right?
And
I
I
used
also
to
don't say
know.
idol, so I have the G there.
I don't know. That name will
Yeah,
always confuse me. And if
yeah,
you
I
get a
don't.
chance, come for me
That's
because
why
I will
it's
never
just
know.
G idol.
I'm tired of looking, so I wouldn't I'll never know. But yes, we wanted to talk about the video that B-Lift released about 5 days ago concerning some of the plagiarism accusations against Illit that were raised by Hee-jin and kind of was one of the crux of this whole back and forth between Hybe, Adore, Hee-jin, Bang PD, and B-Lift that like one of the reasons why she feels like, you know, she cannot stay at this company is that they're clearly trying to sabotage her. They're jealous of New Jean's success. And one of the ways that that was materialized was through them basically plagiarizing New Jeans' whole concept in making Illit to have a girl group to basically replace New Jeans and fade New Jeans out. So in this video, it's strictly basically them addressing most of the concern, I think all of them related to the plagiarism accusations between Illit. Oh my God, I'm back to saying Illit and New Jeans. And honestly, I did want to start by saying, I was going to leave this to the end, but I'll just jump off by saying, somebody made a post. It was on Panchoa, and they used one of those apps that, now that the YouTube button, or YouTube has disabled the dislike button, you can't actually see how many, like, the dislike to like ratio. So somebody actually went out of their way, and can I go in reverse order? Ooh, okay. They went out of their way and they showed the dislike to like ratio. Let me see if I can find the video. Is this it? No. Okay, I can't find where it is. But essentially, this is heavily disliked, this video, which to me means that either people don't care about the rebuttal that they have, or they just don't right out believe it. But we'll go through and talk about what actually was said in this video, and then we can kind of make our own decisions on how we feel. So I wanted to point out the three main players. There's also another woman in this video, but I don't think I got her name. But she kind of talks about some of the plagiarism accusations. But like the main three players in this video is we have Choi Yoon Hyuk, which is the B Lift Lab, which is a subsidiary of Hybe, Eyelet's label. We have Kim Tae-ho, who is the B-Lift president and Eyelet's producer. And then we have Myung Sang-woo, who is Eyelet's performance director. So they all kind of talk throughout this like about 30-minute video, kind of giving their thoughts on Min Hee-jin's plagiarism accusation. So just for a recap, because they do recap it in the video, how this all rolled out essentially in April. And so keep in mind that Eyelet debuted in March. In April of 2024, there was a formal complaint sent from Adore, basically with concerns that there's some plagiarism overlap in Eyelet's, just like how they're packaged, like their whole concept in New Jeans. And so there is this whole kind of discrepancy as to whether in response to this is when Hybe then ordered the audit of Adore, and Min Hee-jin seems like she's saying that it was a punishment for ever pointing out that there might have been some type of like plagiarism or stealing or concept theft. They immediately gave like this audit to kind of punish them. But from B-Lift's perspective, they did respond. They said that, they're looking into it. And, ultimately, when they reviewed everything, they basically audited themselves, looked through the records and things like that were used during the formation of Eyelet, and came to their own conclusion that there was no plagiarism or even like accidental borrowing when it came from developing the concept of Eyelet. So essentially, one of the first things they talk about, and I think we talked about this here too, is that Min Hee-jin, she in that first press conference, she obviously brought up that, one of the big issues that she has with Hybe and B-Lift is that, she feels like Eyelet plagiarized New Jeans. And so they point out, and I feel like you talked about this, Jazz, how like she says that she like the girls are innocent, this is on the adults, but they claim that this was a purpose like this was purposeful, and she purposely wanted to get the girls involved and get hate. And she was really disingenuous, because while she's saying she doesn't want the girls to get hate, this obviously bringing them up in any regard was going to rope them in. So do you think, in your mind, that Min Hee-jin was being purposely she was purposely trying to get the girls hate, or do you think it was just an unfortunate side effect of trying to point out reasons why she feels uncomfortable at Hybe and with Hybe?
I feel like she wanted them. I think she wanted people to accuse them, but like not really like accuse. Maybe she didn't want the girls to be like the collateral, but like it was obvious it was going to happen. But I don't think she thought her actions through. I don't think she was innocently saying "ill" to just be like, oh yeah, this is just something that happened. I think she wanted some type of movement against Illit, like maybe like to stop listening to them, but not so much for them to get hate and all of that. Just like kind of like get people to see that maybe they are copying New Jeans and all of that. because I'll give her the grace of like, I think like maybe she didn't think it fully through, but I do think there was maliciousness behind her, like the intent.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like, yeah, the thing is, part of me is like on the same wavelength with you that I feel like she didn't think it through, but also there's part of me that doesn't want to give the benefit of the doubt because I don't know. Like, you've been in the game for a really long time. I feel like it's kind of hard to believe that you don't know how like public scrutiny works and how idols get attacked personally for things, even if it is like their company. So like, I don't know, because I guess like I don't want to believe like she was like, now drag Wan Hee, like, you know, that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, you're not new to this, you
That's
know,
true.
to know that they would get hate. And I also feel like I think in one of the conferences she pointed out like, oh, like the New Jeans members are going to suffer so much. So if you could understand how New Jeans themselves would suffer from Adore or Hybe trying to ruin your livelihood and get you out of the picture and start this whole war against you, like, I don't know, like I feel like how wouldn't you then interpret, oh, you know, also me mentioning Eyelet might like wage the same war depending on what side, you know, the netizen is in. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
I also think it's weird that she was like, we shouldn't be bringing in the like idols into this business, like the lawsuit and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it had to do with New Jeans, but like she started it by saying Illit first. I feel like so it was kind of like Illit, and she said New Jeans. So it was like I guess it's kind of weird that she had that stance afterwards
Mm-hmm.
when people were like bringing it up, but like when she does it, it's like nope.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. She's like, I think that's one of the things that kind of frustrates me a bit. Like, no matter what side you're on, I feel like you have to be able to see like really questionable moves from both sides. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of people who are pro New Jeans, maybe anti Hybe, they overlook some of the shit. Like, I feel like you can be on your side, but then you can also be like, hey, some of the stuff that me and Hee-jin did was like kind of messy, you know?
Yeah.
And even I remember people accusing her of basically using New Jeans as a shield because obviously New Jeans as a group is so likable. So making sure to mention them and how she's talked with them and how they feel bad for her and things like that could elicit like a type of sympathy from people who are just like, oh my God, yeah, New Jeans are just babies and we love them so much, and ditto and things like that. So how can we let this girl who loves, or this woman that helped create them and loves them so much clearly, you know, fall in the face of like a conglomerate monopoly like Hybe. But yeah. So they talked about the formal complaint being filed. They said that they did respond to Min Hee-jin's claims, and that they then went on to deny the plagiarism, saying that, you know, when they looked through their reference records, there was no sign of New Jeans being used. So one of the things that was quite interesting is that they pointed out when they looked through their record, or when they were forming New Jeans, one of the things that they wanted to do specifically is not make it overlap New Jeans. So this is a screenshot from the documentary, and essentially it's saying they didn't want them to be anything like New Jeans, they didn't want them to be anything like Blackpink, and they didn't want them to be anything like IVE. And so it's like not New Jeans is like the first line, and then it's kind of like listing like kind of characteristics of their concept. So for New Jeans, it says teenagers, materialization of grown-up dreams. It says not Blackpink, untouchable, perfect celebrities. I'm sure Blinks were like, and did, period.
And how?
Like Blinks were like, that's what I thought. And it says not I've, beautiful princesses admired by all. So it's like they were saying that not only did we not use New Jeans as a reference, but we specifically were like, what is New Jeans and these other top groups? Because we want to make sure we make like a very, very different group to that. And they were being very intentional, which I thought was interesting. So one of the first things they addressed that I think a lot of people, even before this whole thing started, where we formally knew that there was like an internal, you know, war going on between this, you know, claim of New Jeans being plagiarized, was their long black hair. So I actually don't have it up here, dang it. But one of the things is that when New Jeans debuted, they had their natural long hair, very natural, very like youthful, you know, things like that. And then Illit debuted with a very similar concept with long black hair. So one of the things that I was like, Min Hee-jin, Toki's, I don't know, these men are eating you up a tad, is that they pointed out that so many groups have had long black hair, dreamy, innocent concepts. And mostly when a group does a more innocent, youthful concept, a lot of them doing them close to their debut, they tend to go for like a long, natural hair concept. So basically, if you're saying that New Jeans or Illit copied like New Jeans, then what does that mean for New Jeans for all these other groups? Or why can't it be that New Jeans or Illit is referencing all of these groups? And so I just want to get everyone's thoughts on that. Do we think, I guess my question here is, do we think there's any claim to the idea that, or any validity to the idea that the long black hair, I guess maybe in 2024, can be attributed to New Jeans?
I feel like, I guess, if that's how you see them. I feel like in 2024 they don't even have black hair.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It is, I don't know. I wouldn't just attribute black hair as their thing. I think that was like their thing for their debut.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that they kind of like slowly started doing other things with their hair. And now they wear those wigs.
Like, Danielle's like, please save me.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, since they're the most recent, I guess, and even actually, are they? Because I feel like even what's that group with like a whole bunch of people? Triple S.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've done that too with like just black hair for like their stuff. So I don't know. Like, I guess they're the most popular group recently to have black hair. So it's like, I guess you couldn't attribute it to them, but like I wouldn't consider someone who does it too is copying them. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard because I remember them, I think even back in like the BTS days, people were like, okay, there's like the person who created it and then there's person who like popularized it. So like obviously the long black hair looking natural to be like an innocent, youthful, pure, whatever concept, you know, we're seeing groups from the freaking 90s in these slideshows. So there's no way to say that. Like, and obviously that's like the hair that grows out of their head. So it's kind of insane to be like, but you know, is it fair enough? Did New Jeans concept have enough stronghold to be like, anyone who does it has your hair like this after 2022, it's obviously because you looked at New Jeans, looked at their success and said, we want some of that. Like, is that a fair claim to make?
I don't think so. Because as you said, like, it's their hair. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's weird to just be like, oh, having your own hair is like New Jeans, so you have to change your hair. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if it's like a hand, what is it called? Shortcut symbol. If it's always been a symbol for years that if you have long black hair, you're trying to portray a certain concept of like youthfulness, of like naturalness or whatever, then like whether it was done in like 1998 or 2022, that's a ongoing idea that like never left like the popular zeitgeist. I don't know what zeitgeist means, but you know what I mean? Like, it's always been a shorthand for, oh, I'm in my natural black hair, so we're trying to give like a very natural image. So I think even if New Jeans was the most recent person to get popular from it, I think it's a bit, you know, silly to be like, you are doing that specifically because of New Jeans. Like, yeah, it's because they want to have a concept, and this has always been the shorthand or like the uniform for that concept. In my opinion. So next up, so they addressed that, and then they also addressed a claim that Min Hee-jin made during her first press conference, basically saying that the production formula of Islet resembles New Jeans a little too much. And so they go on to say things like, so when New Jeans debuted, they immediately off the bat, I think had like, they were invited to a Chanel event, and a similar thing happened with Islet. One of their first schedules, even before they debuted, was getting, I think Acne Studio, I think it was called. They had like, they were purported, sent to a fashion show and then did like a photo shoot, I believe, with them. And so they're like, okay, there's certain ways that they're promoting new eyelet and kind of like the image around them that is very similar to New Jeans. And so I believe it was the president, Kim Tae-ho, who said this, that like there's not a set way to make a group popular. Like there's not like a like foolproof plan way to make a group popular. Otherwise, most producers would just follow what the Beatles did and follow what BTS did because that would guarantee you success. They also said distinctly New Jeans has a 90s Y2K nostalgia. Like and even now we're seeing like with the new comebacks like an 80s type almost like nostalgia. Why Eyelet is just like young, approachable, everyday, lovable, like lively girls. And so I guess we talked about this a little, but I guess that goes into the concept. Do you really feel that there's like a significant overlap in terms of Eyelet's concept and what we've seen from New Jeans so far?
No. Yeah, no. Like I just generally like no. Like I can see maybe like small like bits of like maybe what is it? Magnetic is kind of I guess similar to the New Jeans album. I forgot what it was. The one
With the
before this
Powerpuff
comeback.
Girls?
Yeah. Like I can
Mhm.
kind of maybe see like a correlation with that. But at the end of the day, like I just the way that they dance, the way that the song sounds, is not fully something I think New Jeans would do. I mean,
Mhm.
they could if they wanted to, but like from what I've seen so far, it's not the same.
Mhm.
It's just yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
agree with
yeah.
their description too, like where it's like they're more like nostalgia, and I feel like Eyelet or whatever their name is,
Whoever we're talking about.
theirs is like I don't know it is like very much like I don't know it's like a different like more dream pop like type of sound compared to what New Jeans is doing. They're also like New Jeans is also like more R&B in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, while Islet seems like they're generally just pop. So I don't know. There can be some overlap, but I can do that like overlap with New Jeans and other groups like Red Velvet. But I wouldn't consider them copies or anything. It's just there's some overlap,
Mhm. Yeah.
but not enough for me to be like, oh gosh, I need to make a big deal out of it.
Mhm. No, I definitely agree, and I think also it's funny because we've seen so little from Eyelet, and,
Yeah.
New Jeans hasn't been around that long, but, they have a significantly, like, larger, like, repertoire, and I feel like, yeah, if you picked one thing from everything that New Jeans ever did, maybe you can align them to, like, Eyelet, but, like, it's like we only have seen this one, like, we don't know, like, I believe their mini album only had, like, 4 songs, so we don't know what their sound's gonna, like, involve or evolve into. I guess like magnetic is the thing that's getting like most of the plagiarism accusations. But yeah, that's one song, and I'm like, could maybe New Jeans do this? Yeah, but I just like it seems kind of at this point maybe a bit more. I don't even want to say childish for New Jeans because they're literally children, but like it just seems like a bit more young. Like I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense because this is Eyelet's debut as opposed to New Jeans who's like going on 3 years now, 2 years. So it's like yeah, they're gonna be in different places in their career. I'm gonna jump into the chat to read some of you guys' comments so far. Let's see. A Daisy says, I get the point, but let's say they did bite New Jeans. Are we supposed to believe they'd cop to it? Now some of the bite claims are a reach. I mean, that's kind of true. Like, I feel like they'd never be like, yeah, we copied and what? Like,
That's true.
but at the same time, and I think we'll get more into this when we go over like the dance accusation or dance plagiarism accusations section of the video. But it's just like, I feel like it's such an interesting line between what can be considered inspiration and you taking from things and then making it your own and what's considered copying. Because I think a lot of us who, especially were actually around in like the 90s and stuff like that, can see what New Jeans is doing and it's like, oh, yes, this is a nod to like the Tamagotchi era, the tinted ombre sunglasses era, like that whole era. And so obviously Min Hee-jin is looking, because you want to invoke a certain feeling, a certain time, you have to look to what was actually being worn that time. You know, you didn't just make up what was being worn that time. You had reference pictures and stuff like that. So it's like, why isn't that copying? Why isn't that plagiarism? But then not even necessarily if they borrow from New Jeans, because again, anyone's free to look in the past. Like everyone has eyes, ears, Google to look in the past and see what a bunch of like other girl groups have done to symbolize certain things and certain concepts and stuff like that, and be like, okay, I'm going to take that and use that in our group, or just other things. Yeah, to I did want to make a point too, like the New Jeans like 90 Y2K nostalgic thing. I would say Islet is more like, there's this thing called like coquette and like shoujo protagonist style. Like they call them like Saoko girls, or like Hachiko girls, from like Hachi from Nana and Saoko from Kimi ni Todoke. And like I feel like that's what Islet gives to me. Like they just regular teenagers, but specifically it's like shoujo protagonist in like a slice of life anime, what you would wear off, you know, on the day, or on the episode when her and her friends go to like watch a movie together. Like that's what it gives me, as opposed to exactly like Y2K. So I find that interesting. Anthony says, I feel like long black hair can be attributed to first gen and second gen, in my opinion.
I feel like I remembered that Red Velvet also did this, like for Be Natural.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I had to like look it up. I was like, didn't they also do it? And they did, yeah. So I feel like there's other groups that have done it in the third too.
Yeah. And even then, wasn't Be Natural like a redo of like a Finkel song or some other older
like
group song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was SES.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense because they were all SM. Yeah, it's Anthony also says look at J-pop girl groups doing that hot long back hair look. That's true. And a lot of like what J-pop fans tend to say is that like the thing about J-pop groups that kind of differ from K-pop groups is that they're supposed to be like the girl next door. They're supposed to be like not that great at singing and dancing, because they're supposed to invoke this like, grow with me, I'm just the everyday person, you know, just like your neighborhood or whatever. So it's like, again, the idea that having long black hair, you know, as a girl group is like a shorthand for, this is our natural, innocent, you know, I'm supposed to be relatable kind of phase, I think. Andre says, I feel like she's giving too much credit to New Jeans. Like they invented these concepts and doing this and that and the third. Like, ma'am, this isn't a hella new thing. They're just the ones popular with it. Plus, these girls are underage. Of course, they're gonna have long black hair. That's a good point.
Yeah.
A Daisy said, so in this logic, can Baby Vox go after New Jeans for their concept? They should try.
Every second gen girl group used to come after them. SES. Or actually first gen and second gen.
Pile up on Min Hee-jin. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of, I don't know if we talked about this before the stream or in the beginning of this segment, but like the fact that it seems like if Min Hee-jin does it, it's like cool inspiration and she's creative. And if anyone else does it, then it's just copying, and you're like a disgrace to like creativity, and like, you know, you're just like, I don't know. It seems kind of biased. Like, I don't know.
It definitely is.
Jordy says, I do feel like a lot of groups are taking notes from New Jeans these days, but Min Hee-jin is doing a bit too much. And that's the thing that's really annoying about this whole thing, is that like obviously when you are the most popular girl group, people are going to be looking towards you, and whether that's like, oh, we don't want to come back when New Jeans are coming back, or blah blah, but like, yeah, I feel like it's too much, because while there are like a lot of girl groups that maybe are like being natural, there's people like aespa who are eating the charts up and looking like they came straight out of second gen with their crazy ass outfits and hairstyles and music videos. So there's like one point where I'm like, yes, give her props, because New Jeans is very like popular and sought after and well liked. But like, you're not the only person who's making groups that are popular, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. It gives like cocky.
I also think like I kind of see a little bit from her side where it's like maybe more people are doing New Jeans like type stuff more, but I think it's because hers is like, no offense to her, but like the safest. Like if someone were to try and copy what aespa's doing, it's like, are you really gonna? There's like a small chance that you're actually gonna make it. But like with New Jeans, I feel like, I don't know, like they have like a very simple concept. So it's like you can take bits and pieces from there and like mold yourself from that. While with aespa, I feel like there's too much happening in there, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. How do I do that?
That's true. Also, I've always, and this is not shady, but I always thought that, like, to your point, like, New Jeans songs are like both kind of hard to sing, but kind of easy to sing. Like, I've never like heard something in a New Jeans song. It's like, whoa, that person is below, like, they're like in the way that you hear for aespa song. So, like, to your point, that makes it a lot more like, you know, adaptable, because it's like you don't have to have a crazy range or anything like that. Like, you don't have to, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's so hard. Andre says, I feel like while she may have a point, I feel like she's a little early in saying Islet is plagiarizing New Jeans. Hell, why stop at BB Vox? Let's get SES, Pinnacle, and the other groups.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's one of the biggest points. It's like they don't even have a comeback yet, and you're already like saying, like, I feel like it's a lot. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about is, this was actually from an L photo shoot. So this photo right here was essentially, they were talking about the B-Lift staff was talking about how when they first got like the formal, complaint of accusations of plagiarism, these were some of the concept photos that were being compared, and specifically we're saying that were being said that they were copying, New Jeans. And so you kind of, this next picture I'm going to show, it's the comparison is the last two bottom pictures that you kind of see on the bottom there. So this is the actual picture. And so I believe, again, it was the VP Kim Tae-ho who went over this. And so he was essentially saying this was one of the pictures that were being accused of being like plagiarism from New Jeans. And so this was actually a picture from a photo shoot they did with Elle magazine. And so what he thought was really interesting is that when they did this photo shoot with Elle magazine, B-Lift had no part in any of the styling or any of the concept that went into this. It was all the Elle staff. So they essentially were using something that wasn't even claiming to be from the creativity of B-Lift, and saying that this is another, example of B-Lift copying. Now, I think it was like somebody who maybe was on this pictorial or something said that this was like a mixture of like, the Elle staff and what like they were just kind of letting the girls be themselves or whatever. But like for the most part, it had nothing to do with B-Lift. So it kind of made me feel like a lot of this basis is like Min Hee-jin saw what like, Pan was saying, saw what different internet communities were saying, and then kind of was like, okay, let me use that as basis. But like the internet's a bit unhinged. Like, I kind of wonder how much is this Min Hee-jin being like, I genuinely believe that they are plagiarizing us, and how much was this like the internet and maybe stans or aunties of Islet put a battery in her back because they made comparison like, articles like this, and then she kind of legitimized them by actually formally bringing it up to Hybe, but then they maybe like legitimized her feelings that Hybe was like being shady towards New Jeans by making these compilations or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was one thing. And then there was a whole section that kind of went into the multiple plagiarism accusations that people have been accusing, Islet of stealing certain moves. Now, this is much better to view like the act. I would just say, if you're gonna watch any part, if you haven't watched the documentary and you're gonna watch any part, I would watch this part, because I think it's one of the most like, I don't know how you could think what they were saying was unreasonable at all. But again, seeing the actual moves and seeing how they break them down is very helpful. I just don't have the actual like moves here. I just like took a screenshot. But essentially, This is where their dance performance director Myung Sang-woo came in, and they kind of talked about some of the like small moves that were being accused of plagiarism. And so he goes on to say that like when they like do the choreography, they have like 10 directors that like, you know, take part in like making this stuff, and none of them have ever mentioned using New Jeans as a reference. But one of the things they did point out is that a lot of the things that were pointed out as common choreography were like very fleeting moves. So one of the things is like, I don't know, New Jeans goes like this and do ditto. And like there's a part where like Eyelet goes like this and then like claps and magnetic. So it's like, yes, if you isolate that down and play it frame by frame and just isolate that, it's like, okay, they stole this move. But if you see it in all of the choreography, you're like, that was like 2 seconds. Like you had to be like looking for similarities if you wanted to like point that out. Like it's like you found what you were looking for basically, as opposed to it just being this whatever. But then he kind of goes on to a lot of other moves that people point out that are plagiarizing New Jeans are just basic like hip hop steps. And I think that was one of the things that kind of not annoyed me, but like kind of like frustrated me, because let's be honest, a lot of K-pop groups dance hip hop. So therefore they use like common dances in hip hop, or they use common trends and things like that. And so it's like, okay, am I to think that you guys think when K-pop groups use these clearly from hip hop moves in their dances, they own them now? Like, I don't know. That kind of weird to me. Like, when does, in your opinion, I guess, when does like, when can a group say that this is my, like, if somebody was doing this in their dance, I'd be like, okay, you stole that.
Yeah.
But if somebody was like, I don't even know, popping and locking in their dance, are we saying because both of them popped and locked at the bridge, it's stealing? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like, it almost makes me scared, because it's like, what do y'all think y'all actually are making here? Like, originally, like, I'm not even trying to be like whatever, but I don't know.
I feel like if it's a point dance, it's kind of like hard to not justify it being plagiarized. Like if you're both doing the same point dance at some point, like it's like that, okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they kept doing the little spinny thing and kept going, I'd be like, okay, well, obviously you're trying to just do the ditto dance. But like if it's just like 2 seconds or whatever, it's like that's not anything. Also, if it's just a hip hop move that's not even like the main part, and they both are just kind of like just using it to travel or whatever, it's kind of like, I don't know. If it's used a lot, why are we just pinpointing these two groups? Like, show the other ones, because there's probably other ones that have done it.
And the tea is, that's what they did. Literally, there was like this one like step move that like New Jeans do, and I forget which song. And essentially in the video, they showed every single, like they showed like a tutorial where how like if you're like a hip hop beginner, you might use like you learn that move first. Different groups. There was like one like thing where they go like this in like some chicken dance MV New Jeans had, and so Illit goes like this at one point, and then they literally went through all the groups, including like G Friend, I think Eyes One, who've used that same move. And again, it's really making me feel like a lot of these people making these accusations are just doing it in bad faith, because it's like, how come you noticed when Eyelet did this, but you didn't notice the other 5 groups that did it before them? Mm-hmm. Like, again, it's like that kind of hypocrisy that I'm not liking, where it's like when Min Hee-jin does it with New Jeans, that's originality, but anyone who does it after copied. Like, what? Mm-hmm. Do you think nobody else sees anything else in the world? Like, I don't know. It's really like giving.
Sometimes it seems like some people just don't see anything else in the world, because it seems like, yeah, the dislike ratio shows that people obviously don't believe this.
I don't know. It just makes me really sad. But yeah, so like they were showing this kind of step move. This was, yeah. So again, I would say watch this part, because I feel like if you want to get kind of the gist of why, you know, in my opinion, I feel like this is really silly, and a lot of people do think it's silly. I feel like this was a great explanation, just kind of the hypocrisy and double standards. This was what I was kind of referencing before when they both did luxury, you know, fashion show events at the beginning of their debut. And then they started being a little petty, I think. But they were basically like, so one of the accusations was that both New Jeans and Eyelet at one point wore these like pastel hanboks, and people were like, oh, copying, but they were like, a lot of groups wear hanboks. And then so they pointed out New Jeans did a dance, performed one of their songs in their hanboks in front of this palace, and BTS had performed in front of this palace years earlier. So they're like, can we say that they copied them by having a performance in front of this palace? They also brought up the plagiarism accusations that New Jeans got from that Mexican girl group Jeans that we had talked about earlier, and said, yeah, like there was very similarities. And guess what? You guys waved those away because you said they were being picked at in bad faith. Like it was stills and things like that, that when you freeze it at the right time, they look so similar. But if you actually play it out, you see that they're actually not that similar. So why can you see that how that's wrong when people are trying to compare New Jeans for accusation or for plagiarism accusations, but suddenly you turn a blind eye when it's doing the same thing to accuse Eyelet of plagiarism accusations? Yeah, and then lastly, and by the way, they're like, we don't think what New Jeans did was plagiarism either. We just think it was like inspiration. And then lastly, and I think this was maybe the most damning thing, where it kind of just made me be like, like maybe I'm switching sides. Well, not completely, but like low key. So in the second press conference, at one point, a reporter asks Hee-jin her thoughts on the kind of hate and like negative attention and controversy that is surrounding Le Sserafim and the Eyelet members because of the things she said. And so when the person asked this, she essentially flips the script and is like, well, the press, you guys need to stop bringing this up. Like, if we want this to die down, you need to stop asking me questions about it, because the more you ask me questions, the more damage it causes. So she completely ignores the fact that nobody would be asking questions if you didn't bring these two groups up. Specifically, you were beefing with Sakura Girl. And now you're saying, well, no, it's because you guys keep talking about it that they're getting hate. So I don't know. Hee-jin fans, like, I don't know. That's kind of shady to be like, to completely shirk responsibility for being the person who opened the conversation. To be fair, if you felt like you were just trying to defend your group and, you know, your creative genius, whatever, that's fine. But be honest that the fact that you brought up these girls are one of the reasons why they're getting hate. And she also kind of blames, like, you know, the online netizen mob, which is, you know, to an extent fair, because people do take things out of proportion, but she totally skirts responsibility. So I don't know. What is your opinion on her response to that question?
Well, I feel like it's the same, because it's like, what is that? What do you mean? Like, you brought him up, and then like you're just like, no, wait, what are you talking about? Who? Why do you keep bringing them up? Like, you brought them up. I feel like she keeps doing that. Like the New Jeans thing, like she's like, don't bring up New Jeans, but like also New Jeans like called me and they cried. They cried with me. I cried with them. We had a good girl to heart moment. Like, it was just like, girl, you just said don't bring them up. Yet now you're doing it. And kind of like, what is this? You just pick and choose when you feel like bringing up people, and it's weird. And I don't know how people just like turn a blind eye to that, because it's kind of like, she seems shady. Nobody seems unshady in this situation. We should not just be picking solid sides at all. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is me being biased, but it seems like New Jeans is doing relatively fine. Like, their comebacks are very successful. People are enjoying it. People obviously are very sympathetic, as they should be, to the situation that specifically the New Jeans members are. But I don't know. What have you been seeing when it comes to Le Sserafim and Eyelet on the internet? Because for most of the spaces that I go to, it's not necessarily that they're attacking Eyelet or well, they're actually attacking Le Sserafim. A lot of people, like, you know, carried over from the Coachella thing. But like, it really does seem like, if anything, those two groups took a real hit to their image and are being discussed very negatively in the online spaces. And to be fair, they're international, like English speaking spaces. But I don't know. Have you seen like something different, or do you think for the most part it's pro New Jeans and anti every other group that's not New Jeans?
It's like really weird to me, because I always like, I thought about this, I think like earlier this week, about Le Sserafim, how like I feel like last year people were like eating them up. They were like, this is, look at them. They are like, those girls, they are performers. Like, that's what a performance is. Like, when they were doing, like, I'm a mess, everybody was like, yes, get it. And then suddenly, somehow, they turned into the complete opposite. And I'm like, what? They didn't change. They've been the same. Why are we now suddenly just, like, flipping the script? It's, like, weird. Because I feel like, I don't know. To me, they're still not, like, the worst performance from what I've seen to, like, make it so, like, drastic of a change. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
It's Min Hee-jin's act, or her plan in action. Stage 1 was get them casted at Coachella when she knew. No, it is quite scary, and it kind of like, I feel like it's a testament to how like nothing is like stable until it is, because it's like, yeah, 1 minute a group's on top, and then a certain set of like like events and stuff like that can lead to a bunch of people just like it being really hard to find people speaking positively of them in like online spaces and things like that. I mean, the thing is, I thought it was Coachella, but it might have, and I thought it was the encore, but I feel like the first time I kind of was hearing like bad stuff about them was I think it was when Easy dropped, because apparently like that, I don't know, I think this got resolved, but like apparently they filmed one of the scenes in like a church, so people are like, oh, that's so disrespectful, but then people are like, well, they clearly got the permit to film there, so clearly the church, and apparently it wasn't even a real church, it was like a place that people film, like, and then people were like saying that when they did the Easy choreography, everyone who they would collab with would eat them up and they can't even dance it that well, so then it kind of just spiraled from there. To be fair, what was it, Hoshi, when he did it with them?
And you can't even, Hoshi's literally a main dancer.
He needed to calm down. That was disrespectful.
Well, he can't. That's his job. So like, I'm so sorry, girls. Like, beforehand, I know we're label mates, but like, sorry. Just be prepared for those comments. It's all about me, not you, about me.
Imagine him fully knowing what happened. Like, he gets into the future and he's like, I know this is going to start some shit, but I can't not dance. Okay.
He's like, I've seen y'all dancing this. And I've seen myself dancing it. I already know.
Like, what am I supposed to not slay? What do you mean? Like, get out of here.
It's not in my blood. It's not in my DNA.
But yeah. Okay. Daisy says, do you want to just go on it, like switch on and off with the picking the comments?
Sure.
Okay. Daisy says, look, if you can't copyright it, it's nearly impossible to make an infringement claim. That's a good point. And I know has been in the past some drama, or not some drama, but a lot of controversy related to like, what if you make a dance, how much claim do you have over it? Like, for example, you had the whole situation where there was that young girl who made the renegade dance, and then a bunch of white TikTokers got popular off of doing the renegade dance, but it was like they didn't make the dance and the girl didn't get popular at all. So it was like, why isn't she getting any of this attention? And then I think also the Fortnite dances, they also take, I think some of them are like literally taken from TikTok, but I don't think people actually get paid for that or anything, and whether that's fair. And it's like, that is true. That's true. It is kind of like, I don't know. There's some like moral gray thing, in my opinion, because it's like, yeah, because like then Fortnite gets the benefit for having that emote, but that kid that made the dance doesn't get anything. Like, yeah, that kind of seems messed up. But I think legally speaking, and I think they mentioned this in the documentary too, they like the people saying plagiarism and adore don't really have a ground to stand on, because it's like, you didn't copyright anything in this, sense, because you couldn't. So how can you then say that there is some infringement? Yeah. My Juan said New Jeans did the dance before NMix. I think you're referring to this one. So NMix was one of multiple one of like
Examples?
multiple examples. I really wish I could have like just played that part, but I don't want Susan to whatever. But for example, with the chicken dance, which probably isn't the best example, because the chicken dance thingy that New Jeans did was for a McDonald's commercial, but they were showing how like Eyes One has used that choreography before in other girl groups. So it's just like, okay, so do we call that plagiarism because they were using the same moves? And I think it wasn't the point that they were trying to be like, oh, New Jeans also plagiarized. They were saying none of it's plagiarism, but it's kind of convenient how when dances that have appeared in other girl groups or boy groups choreography appear in a New Jeans dance, nobody says anything. But when the opposite happens, when something that New Jeans did appears in somebody else's dance, specifically Islet, suddenly it's a problem and it's plagiarism and it's grounds for like, trying to sue them or whatever. So I think that was kind of more the point. My also says the B-Lift got a lot of dislikes down to the proof they used that was taken from Twitter and debunked prior to B-Lift dropping the video. Well, I would love to see the debunk, because the thing is, I think a lot of people are kind of biased. Like I'm sorry, like maybe there's something that I can see in this in this debunking. I don't want to say that the debunking is obviously wrong, but like I think objectively, if I was somebody who know nothing about K-pop, but I was keyed in with what was happening and I saw this, I was like, it's kind of true. I don't know. I think the claim maybe you can make that if you put all the coincidences together, then maybe it's like, okay. And then also the proximity of the groups, the fact that they're under kind of the same roof. So it's not far-fetched to think that they were like, okay, like paying attention. Like it's not like they don't know New Jeans existed. But I feel like a lot of it does seem a bit like, if you really like one group or you really don't like the other, they'll be like, well, obviously this one copied because this is the superior group and they're the better group and they're more interesting and they're more, that kind of thing. I don't know.
I also don't understand, like, what does it mean by debunked? Like, what was debunked? And how do you debunk something that wasn't even said yet? Because it seems like it's giving that nobody actually watched the video to even compare. It just sounds like people are being told, oh yeah, it's already been debunked. So don't believe the video. Rather than like, what was debunked? I don't know what that means. It seems very vague.
Yeah. If you can, I don't know, can you put links in here? I mean, I'll check on Twitter because if there's more information, I'll say I only watched this video and like my only context is what has like happened like via the press conferences yet. But yeah, if there's like stuff, because I think for somebody who is trying to defend accusations and people saying certain things, I think they did their due diligence to be like, these are like, this is what you said and this is my response to it, like from like a actually looking at the footage to like their own professional opinion to being like, we reviewed our records. And maybe that is kind of biased to be like, well, we reviewed our records that you don't have access to, we do, and we said we didn't look at your shit, but I think a lot of the stuff that people are pointing out, like there are very reasonable explanations for it. And like, for example, like the whole long hair thing, and I know that's just like one very small aspect, but that's a legitimate thing that people keep harping on. It's like, how do you see years of girl groups who display an innocent image having black hair and be like, they must have gotten that from New Jeans? I feel like that's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to say that like either one is like this perfect side or whatever, and I just feel like I'm trying to be like open to everything because I know neither side is like perfect. And the thing is, I do like, I hope that it's coming across that I do think that Hee-jin is creative, and I do think she did something special with New Jeans, because it's very evident by the way that New Jeans is like, very popular in a time where there's a lot of successful girl groups. Like that's hard to be like, oh yes, this is like the top girl group when there's like a bunch of really popular girl groups. Like I feel like, I hope people don't think I'm like negating that, but I feel like also I think from like giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, I don't know, I can see B-Lift's side for this. Andre said if she wants to defend her, oh sorry, I said we'll go on and off.
Did you picked the one that I wanted to do. And then I stopped reading after that. So, I mean, you could pick that one. Yeah.
Okay, you can read it.
Oh, I gotta read. If she wants to defend her her group, then defend your group. She started all of this, but then blame the media. We wouldn't even be talking about this if with her bringing up Le Seraphim and Islet. Come on. So, yeah.
Can I be like whatever? I will say though, to in Min Hee-jin's defense, because I am a stan. I'm just kidding.
As you were I feel like you were dragging her a little bit.
No, because I don't want to seem like I'm on any side too much. But I will say, if I do recall, this all started when we found out about it, when it was revealed that they were trying to make her step down. And then it was revealed that they audited and she was trying to do a coup. So I think that's why I'm just kind of torn, because to an extent, they were trying to make it seem like we needed to step down. She tried to do a coup. She was saying everyone copied her. She was crazy. So to her defense, I can see why she was like, actually, this is how it actually went down. You know how a couple months ago, you guys were legitimately, not even before you even knew what was going on internally, you guys on the internet were saying that Islet is like suspiciously similar to New Jeans. Well, guess what? We peeped that too. And when we tried to send a complaint over to Hybe and B-Lift, they all of a sudden we got hit with this audit. So just know it's suspicious to us because it's like we try to put a genuine complaint that we feel like we're being copied, and then all of a sudden we're hit with step down, audit, blah blah. So I'll say in her defense,
wondering if her doing that was like Hybe's like last straw. Like they were like already like, and that's why it seems like it kind of was rushed. Where it was like I think they were already building something, and then she said that, and then they were like, all right, bet we're just gonna do this. We're gonna like I think she complained, and then they were like, all right, we're just going to audit you. We're just gonna do it now. And then now it just turned into a circus. like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems very like, I don't want to say he said she said, because I feel like there's like a bevy of events that are very verifiable in terms of like timeline and things like that. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Because it's like from Min Hee-jin's perspective, they were trying to oust her from the beginning, but from their perspective, she was always trying to like slip away. So everyone's going to paint anything that the other side does as like the beginning workings of whatever nefarious thing that they think the other side is doing,
Yeah, that's true.
Anthony says, see, I agree. A lot of those opinions signed with Min Hee-jin seem to be subjective and biased. But don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people siding with Hybe are also kind of biased too, because they just don't like. I mean, okay, I think the thing that sucks with like issues like this in general, whether it's something like this or anything, is that like the people who've been waiting for a chance to hate on whoever is involved will literally jump in the conversation and fuel it to the heavens because they see this as their chance. So it's so hard, I think, in general, because there are genuine people that are just like, okay, I just want to hear the truth, or I just want to hear all the facts so I can make my own decision. And there's everyone who has like a bone to pick or has like a dog in the fight. And so they're just like, I'm going to choose to ignore this thing that makes my side look bad, even though it's sound and factual, and just believe this other thing or only point to this other stuff because it makes the side I want to win look good, So, but yes, I agree. Oh, was that the one you were going to pick? Yeah. My bad.
That's fine.
Do you want to read that one?
Every time reading, even though I was going to pick it anyway. Yeah, Jay, I get you. Maybe Maybe it's my law brain, but whenever I look at things like this, I think, can it be proved without a reasonable doubt? And B-Lift is creating very strong reasonable doubt.
That's a good point. Yeah, all they have to. Yeah, that's true. All you really, right? For the most part, in like those court cases, you just have to prove that like there's a chance that we didn't copy Jeez. And then it's like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
Unless they have like a smoking gun where it's like, I don't know, a document that says how we copy New Jeans, like, but low key though, so nobody knows. LOL, Min Hee-jin going down, Bang PD on top.
Yeah.
Anthony says not only that, New Jeans fans were accusing Belief of sexualizing Islet, and even though Min Hee-jin and Adore allegedly were sexualizing New Jeans, hypocrisy much.
Wait, and what song for Islet?
That's a good question.
I feel like neither of the songs were very sexual.
Yeah, maybe it was like separate pictorial or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I do. It kind of is weird because it's just like sometimes when things like that get discussed in K-pop, obviously they're very important to be discussed. But I just hate the idea that it might be just used for fandom fodder. Like, at least my fave doesn't get sexualized by their grown ass. It's like, what are we saying at this point? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? How is that a brag? Like,
yeah.
What? Andre says, but what does Le Sserafim have to do with this? Most of the conversation has to do with Islet. I think it's because Min Hee-jin brought Le Sserafim up in the first conference when they were kind of talking about, when she was kind of talking about the suspicious time, not the suspicious timeline, but how New Jeans was supposed to debut first, and all of a sudden Le Sserafim debuted first, and how that she felt that was done purposefully because Hybe wanted to confuse people because people knew that Min Hee-jin was under Hybe and she was going to create a girl group, and it was New Jeans, and at the time New Jeans was secret. But by debuting Le Sserafim first, her claim was they were trying to confuse people into thinking that Le Sserafim was this new Min Hee-jin group for media play purposes. So, but I think mostly this actual documented video was just talking more about New. I mean, it talks about the Le Sserafim thing at the end, but like mostly just New Jeans. But yeah, so that was like mostly what I took away from the video. Do I have anything else? I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was a really good response, and like I guess sorry, the commenter before if people felt that everything in this was already debunked, I completely like resigned to being like, oh, maybe I missed a piece. But from somebody that was just seeing this and isn't like super on Twitter to see like the debunked, I don't know. I thought it was a fair defense.
Like, it's like debunked, like as in like it is plagiarism? Like, that's why I don't mean like what I mean by like, what does debunked mean? Like,
yeah,
is it on the side of Belift, or like is it like it's been debunked that they are plagiarizing?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the whole New Jeans and the Mexican girl group comparisons, I've seen that people have been like pointing out, oh no, it's like manipulated and stuff like that. But essentially, that's what Belift is saying when it comes to the accusations that Islet is copying New Jeans, that it's being manipulated. Like so is that them claiming that it's being manipulated that has been debunked? Because I would say the only thing that would be the smoking gun again would be if there's hard, steel hard proof that they were 100% intentional. Like we can find a document that literally says, like, has New Jeans, that has the blueprint and like has how they're gonna like take elements of New Jeans to, which they've like, I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I'm saying until we have proof that exists, and I'm not saying it's completely like, yes, they never copied, you guys are crazy or whatever, but I feel like until we have like concrete proof, it's a bit he said, she said to say that they were intentionally wanted Islet to be exactly like New Jeans and wanted to run New Jeans out of here. Yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, that's all kind of that I had for it. I think we can move to the next topic about Jin. Do you want to go over this one?
I don't even really know what happened, to be honest. It just seems like he had a hug event and then it went wrong. It went a little wrong for 2 times, 2 people kissing him when they shouldn't be. But we all knew this would happen. Okay, no, we didn't know this would happen, but we knew something was going to go down. It was already kind of a mess, like when we discussed it last time with like the ticketing, right? Well, didn't they like make it so that you had to buy everything again or something? So that was already messy. And like in my head when that happened, I thought like maybe that would weed out like certain people, but it seems like there are still some people that came in and just like tried to kiss this man and as they hugged him. And he just came back from the army. This poor man.
He's probably stressed. Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
came
so
back from the army too. First and foremost.
oh yeah, that's true. I'm like, Jin's event goes sour. What is it called? Deployed? When you leave the army,
I was
detained?
gonna say evicted. What in the world?
Erupted.
He was what is wait
Returns.
discharged. Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay. Yeah, I knew there was like a specific word, but my brain wasn't braining.
Yeah.
Discharged. Oops. I can't even spell it. Discharged from army. Not that army. The actual army.
From that army. He was like, let me out. Actually, just those two. He's probably like, what the fudge? What's happening?
So yeah, he was discharged from the army. Everyone's really hyped. We already knew, like you mentioned, the hug event, which which is funny because I remember last time you saying like the crazy like prerequisite of having to rebuy all this stuff, which I believe they ended up changing. Is gonna like attract the most like who would be willing to rebuy all that stuff? Like maybe somebody that's not about to do the most hinged, is not about to act the hingest we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we talk about, the thing that went down, I did want to say we did get this picture.
This picture. I didn't see this picture. Yeah. I was looking at a different picture.
Oh.
I've never seen this one.
This is the one that RM posted to his Instagram.
I don't know which one I saw. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I can like maybe throw it on the thing. Okay, maybe because I was like, there's no way only he has a picture. Like I'm sure all of them took pictures.
Yeah,
but maybe they all posted them.
Like it was all seven. I was gonna say 5 of them. All 7 of them.
So, you're like all 2 of them. The one of them was there. The one member of BTS was there.
Dang, it's too large. I'll send it in Facebook.
First of all, Jin skin. It's skinning. Like it's just skinning.
Is Suga's hair like brown? I'm so confused.
I think so.
Can you dye your hair?
I don't know the rules, and I'm not gonna act like I do because the girls are gonna drag me. So I don't want to be dragged this evening.
Okay, I sent it.
I
like how you can hear it.
Yeah. I go back and forth with like muting my notifications and not.
No, I just have it pop up.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me make sure my social security number is not on here. Oh, y'all can't even see it.
Yeah, that's like.
There you go. It's them. Are they in the same outfits? No, they're in different outfits. But they're like.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah. Was there an event or was this just a picture? Did they do a live stream?
I don't know what this was. I don't think you can do a live stream, right?
Who knows at this point? Because the thing is, I'm like, oh, you're basically in jail. But like then like RM releases a whole feature-length film. So I'm just like, I'm confused. But stop. Not look, short black haired idols is video.
Oh no.
Stop.
I'm really confused with Suga's hair. Like, is that his natural hair color?
Interesting. Maybe? I don't know. It is now. Well,
after dyeing it blonde for so long,
super black. I feel like nobody actually has black hair though. Maybe, like it's just a darker brown.
That's true. I think
so. Maybe he's letting his highlights, natural highlights from the sun. Listen, don't come for my face.
He's also very pale. Like what in the world?
Jimin looks worried in this picture.
Also, his skin looks so small. That peace sign is like. So tiny.
He's isn't he notorious for having tiny hands?
Oh, is he? Oh.
Yeah. Honestly though, these look microscopic in this picture though, low key. Like just comparing them to J-Hope, they literally look like baby hands.
Oh no.
That's so fresh. But no, I love seeing this. I do really love BTS dearly, and it's nice to see that. I know like, girls, you have 1 year. BTS is giving you 1 year before they come back like the Avengers and reclaim their throne. So do with what you can with that year. Min Hee-jin, you too. ATs. P1.
Oh, how dare you? ATs is trying to live their lives. They idolize BTS, I think. I don't know. I know some of them do.
ATs, get it together. Okay. Get purse or make purse, whatever they're saying.
Oh my gosh. Did you see there was like a video or a sound clip of Mingi saying get a purse or something or whatever the line is.
Get a purse. Or order a purse from Shein. That's what the line is. Yeah.
But it sounded like he said like gotta F her or something. It sounded it sounded very like, oh, who did you say that to? And then I was like,
a whole new phrase.
I think it's just like the way he phrased, like said it. He was like kind of like whispering it. So I feel like I gotta find it. I have to find it and send it because it literally, I was like, what in the world did he just say? And then I looked in the comments and they're like, oh, he's saying the lines. And I was like, oh, stop. It really, to me, I was like, whoa.
We know where your mind went, Jasmine.
So many people. That's why someone posted it, was because they also went there. I was so confused.
That I want to hear that because I do not know how those could get mistaken. Like, how is he saying this that they got mistaken for the two?
I really need to find it. I don't know where it is.
I thought it was gonna give like Noah Centineo clip. Real. Like I was like, oh no, not him.
Sorry, like my brain melted. I share a birthday with this man. Like I don't.
Yoongi look. Oh my god, I used to have that same. We went like the mint. That used to be my favorite Yoongi. But yes, he looks so adorable here. I've always been a Yoongi girl, but honestly, stop! I have proof.
Literally,
don't do this.
She was like, "Who's that one that tore off his shirt in the dance?" And I was like, "That's Jimin." She's like, "I'll take him." And I was like, "Good. At least my fate is saved.
Okay,
it's safe." And then she stole him.
So, this slander is not. I'm suing you. I'm suing you and anyone else who wants to say something.
I'm pretty sure it's on stream or not stream, but like, what is it?
I deleted the video.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, it is there. When I was like, I had no idea. Like, this was like, I had no idea who they are. And honestly, I'm just a girl. So when like I first look at groups, obviously, like that's not the end all be all. But you know, if somebody is cute, I'm like, noted, you know, just take a note. And so like G-Man, I just remember that's the only context I had for BTS at the time, like, you know, so it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, you know, tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
But then when I really got into BTS, you know, mean it. Listen, did I steal your fave or did I steal somebody that wasn't being stan because you were a G-Man stan? Like, we have to make sure that
I was no. How dare you? You know I was a G-Man.
Actually, whoa. I was actually a Jin stan for a hot second.
Oh.
For like a nanosecond. I mean, I like them all. Stop, OT7. But like, that was my back for like 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even know if there's any like proof because it was so short-lived.
I don't think I even noticed this.
It was, but you know how like it's so different when you don't know a group and you're kind of just like getting to know them. And so there might be like a random clip you see of a member and then you're like, okay, I'm kind of stuck on them for a while. But then when you start to know the group and the dynamic, then you start to really figure out like who your bias is and like which like, you know, lines you like and things like that. Like, I don't know. Cause sometimes I'm just like, you were oh wait, let me not say that. Where you said like,
what?
Once you see somebody as like a cornball.
I mean, I don't think anybody in Super Junior is a cornball. They're just all funny to me.
Yeah, that's true. They're all kind of like a layer of goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah. Yeah, so we got this beautiful picture. But then we know that Jin had a hug event and unfortunately, it went awry.
That second pic is so funny. I'm just like oh. Well, he looks like he's in pain. Like she like grabbed this man.
I feel so bad because like he's like genuinely like a nice, happy, like, you know, guy. Like, and I feel like he's very fan servicey. Like when people are like, oh, why is he doing this event? And I'm like, I could see him wanting to do this because it's like he's been gone for so long. It's really like taking the fan service to another level. But it's like, how do you even react when somebody does this? Because first of all, it's like, yeah, like, you know, but then people are gonna like, wow, you just told some girl ill. That's mean. Like, you know,
I'll do it again. You want a random person just like going to kiss you? That's non-consent.
That's true. But it's like, I think it's like, I guess you don't want to kill the mood. Like, obviously, what they did was like
They
bad.
killed it. I just followed it up. I matched the energy.
That's true. That's fair. They did kill it, but maybe like the type of person who's like, I know this is awkward and this could go awkward, but like maybe I want to still keep the vibes up, so I don't want to have too much of a visceral reaction. But like, that's not to say I think this. I mean, they were saying that there was one person in particular, but I saw these two pictures. I think this was from Choreography, so I feel like at least happened twice. Maybe that first picture is not what it seems because he doesn't seem like he's like literally in pain like the second picture, but. Girl, to do this in front of 1,000 armies, like, do you have a death wish? Like, what was your thought process? Because not only were you doing this, violating this man, but you had an audience of 999 people that were ready to hunt your ass down after witnessing this foolishness. So what was your escape plan? Like, she was gonna, escape to another country after this? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are we thinking? I don't know.
I don't see, like, fan service is one thing. This is like, I don't know. I don't think I could do this. Especially after being in the army. I think I'd come back and be like, don't touch me. But I'll sing for y'all in a distance. Like, I'll be on the stage, you're over there. We just like interact. Okay, I'll answer questions, but don't touch me, please.
I'll think about y'all. I don't know. Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
This is like extreme. Like, you're like literally up close.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think maybe it's the idea that, and not necessarily everyone was with art, like everyone here was in the fandom since the beginning, but I feel like maybe there's like a trust that comes with being an older idol that's been around a long time, because you feel like maybe you and your fandom have grown together. The crazy people that would do stuff like hide in your hotel room or stalk you down like the street, aside from like actual sayings, they're gone, they're over it. Like the fad type fans that will do the extreme stuff, they're out of here or whatever, and you are left with more mature, like, even if it's not people who were there since the beginning, the people who are now more mature, and they'll like tell those people to settle down, or that like type of behavior will immediately be shot down within the fandom or reprimanded. Like this girl, they were like, okay, police, beep, boop, boop, boop. Yeah, she's wearing a white shirt, red hair down to her shoulders. Yeah, I got her license plate. Don't worry, just come down and arrest her. I actually brought my own handcuffs, so just come down and put these.
She's already arrested. She's in your cop car right now. Turn around.
I'm driving your cop car right now. Let's go. Get it. Yeah, so it's like maybe that kind of expectation of, we've been around so long that this kind of clown behavior. This reminded me of when that one girl like gave Jungkook like I think somebody edited Jungkook sucking a binky, and then somebody
telling me this, and I was like, what is this? That I think I would remind myself that like every day when I would ever think of doing something like this. Like, I'd be like, no.
Imagine somebody slips a binky into his mouth and like, gotcha. Like, girl, okay, well, what are we doing here? What's going on? What's happening? Yeah. So, I mean, apparently she's already like apprehended. Like, they're already on the case. So I really don't know what the point of this was. Like, I just don't know. Like,
I'm surprised I didn't have to sign something, because I definitely would have been like, if you kiss this man, if you do anything, you will be fined a lot of money. So don't do it. Like, I'm surprised that wasn't a thing.
I feel like maybe they're like, don't worry, like the vibes are good here. We don't want to ruin it with like
it's too optimistic.
NDAs or whatever. Yeah, that just really sucks, because that Yoongi says, always got to be someone to go and ruin the fun for everyone and make sure we are. And now they're being charged for sexual assault. Like, what did you think would happen? A period. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to say anything, but I feel like a lot of people think they can get away with behaviors like this because it's like, oh, I'm just a fangirl. We're just having fun. No, you don't know this man. You truly do not know this man. He's never met you.
Yeah.
You're not his friend.
And even if ruined his day.
Exactly. You ruined my day.
With this photo?
It hurt.
No.
hard for me to see this. But yeah, it's a mess. Mint Yungles also says, I actually biased Tae first before getting to be at BTS, but then once I got to know them and met Yoongi, well, the rest is history, and now he's one of my alts. Period.
Actually, I just remembered that I did like I was gonna say rap non RM first because I was like, oh, he's my age. He looks cool. He speaks English. And then then I somehow went to Yoongi. And I'm like, okay.
You followed in my footsteps. It's fun to say.
Okay. Lies.
As I did not even stand for
Nope.
the longest time. Yeah. Honestly, that's a cute story. Everyone in the chat, say your favorite group. Who was, I think they call it the gatekeeper of the fandom, the person who brings people in. The stan attractor. No. Is that different?
I think the stan attractor is the person that brings in the most people to the group, but is not necessarily with the most stands, I feel like.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought there was a person who is the one that is the eye catcher that tends to bring people into the fandom.
Yeah.
But then there's somebody who tends to get the most people to bias them.
Yeah.
When they get, so one person reels them in and the other one person basically locks them in.
Yeah. I feel like there's a difference between popular and stan attractor.
Yeah. There's yeah, that's true. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, back in the day, Yuna would be the face that drew people in, but then Taeyeon would be the stan attractor who had a lot of stands and made people stay. Not that Yuna wasn't popular, but I feel like she was more suited to be the face. Yeah, basically. And for EXO, it was people might get into the fandom because Kai, but then when they met Kyungsoo, it was
okay.
Why?
Of course, this Kyung cycle is out here trying to do this.
Why is anyone else in the group? Honestly, that's how Kyung cycles low-key act. Just kidding, girls.
That's why I had to block all those Kyung cycles. Okay, I didn't block anyone, but I should have. They were toxic.
Listen, they were growing, they were learning, they were young. We all make mistakes.
They're just toxic. That's just who they were.
Stop. Well, honestly, I didn't really go on his thread too often. I didn't really mingle with those.
You didn't even have to go there to see them. They would just be there.
I love this long-standing beef you have.
Because I didn't want us thing. It would just be oh, I'm just living my life as a Schumann stan, and then there's just a Kyungsoo person just being well, you thought that was Schumann singing? Oh my gosh, he's saying a note. That is obviously Kyungsoo. Okay, my gosh, sometimes Kyungsoo sounds like Baekhyun. What? You don't complain about that, but now it's when it's Schumann, it's oh my god.
I feel like there was this gatekeeping around the vocal line, who was truly in the vocal line, which was really toxic. But yeah, you live and let learn. But yeah, I want to know, everyone, your favorite group, the first person that caught your eye in the group, and then who you ended up standing, because that's always interesting to hear. While you guys get that in the chat, did you want to talk about this whole lawsuit with them?
Honestly, I tried to read this. I don't. They're suing each other.
Wait,
not the three of them.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Imagine.
I was
it's not only is SM suing them and they're suing SM, they're suing each other at the same time.
It's next level DBSK. But yeah, if they're suing him, tell Xiumin to calm down. Chen has 4 kids, and I know Xiumin has 3, but Chen has more. So if you do the math, you can't use any. Baekhyun has 7. Imagine.
But I think this whole thing. What were you saying?
Sorry, I saw the most unhinged thing. So I just wanted to say this. I randomly was on AI cover YouTube, and it was I was looking for something with Kyungsoo, but I ended up finding Baekhyun covering The Weeknd, I think I don't know, some random thing, and it was some romantic song or whatever. And keep in mind, this is AI. AI is not really singing this, right? It doesn't even, not to be any too mean to like the person who did it, but it didn't sound that realistic, you know. And in the comments, I scroll down, and the comments like, I bet Taeyeon regrets breaking up with him now.
What year is this? What? Taeyeon's like, I've had multiple boyfriends since then. I'm okay.
I was so like, not only are you bringing up this relationship from 1936, but like, this is not him singing. It's not like he's singing to her.
It's like the pain in his voice. You hear it.
Like, you think she looks up AI covers of Beck and is like, damn, I pick up with
What
him.
did I do? That voice.
Like, what?
The things it could do.
Like, oh my god, like,
that's funny.
It's giving, I don't even know. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for them, I think it started with them like doing a press conference. They were held a press conference to talk about how it was unfair, like their contract with SM. And then I think SM was like, whoa there. Then like they complained about like how like they haven't been paying their 10% of like their what's it called? Like anything that they do as a
activities.
Yeah, their activities. I think is like they're supposed to give 10% to SM, and they weren't doing that. And then I think CBX was like, oh, but they haven't been doing the 5.5%. They haven't been paying us the 5.5% or something. And so I think SM decided to make a lawsuit against them, and then CBX was like, well, we're gonna have a lawsuit against you. No. And so now they're just a lawsuit against each other. And so I didn't really read it fully and like the order of like things that happened, but I know like it has to do with like like they're supposed to be paying 10% to SM. I'm not sure for like what type of activities. I don't think it's like everything that they do, but I think it's certain activities. And then for stuff that they do for EXO, I think they're supposed to get 5.5 from SM, but they haven't been. So like I think it's like been in their contract that it was supposed to be like 10%. And I think they're saying like, oh, but they said that they were going to do something. I don't think they like described exactly what SM said to them, but they said there's recordings of like the meeting with SM, like the execs and whatnot, from when they like last year, like how they redid their contract. Do you remember that? Like how there was going to be like them leaving or something. They were suing SM. I think they recorded all their conversations with SM at that time, and then they're saying like, oh, we have a case where we're just gonna like sue them as well, or have a lawsuit against them, and that they're not holding up their bargain. But I like, it seems like it's a lot of he said, she said stuff where it's like I feel like there hasn't been a lot of concrete stuff out there. Like I don't like know what their contract looked like. It seems like they should have been paying 10%, and they haven't been.
So, when you hear that, pay up.
That seems like wrong, but it also seems like SM also is doing wrong by not paying the 5.5%. I think they also said that they were trying to contact SM to change the contract, and SM was just not listening to them. So I think that's when they did their press conference. And then SM responded with like, how dare you? You're holding up EXO's comeback in Christmas time. And
I saw that.
And then that's what, and then they said, oh, we still will do EXO stuff, like as a response to that, I think. And it was just like, SM, like, first of all, it is June. What are we talking about? I was like, that sounds like so shady. They're holding up the freaking winter album.
The whole thing sounds really funny and petty. Like, even when you were like, oh, so they're like, well, you're not paying 10%. And then they were like, well, you're not paying 5.5. And then someone was like, I don't know. Wait a second. Let me make a call. Like, that is so childish. Yeah. It's sad though, because I got the feeling like when this just like suddenly wrapped up in time for EXO to come back with the cream soda, I was just like, wait, y'all, you were literally just scrapping. There's no way you resolve this in 2 seconds. Yeah. And like, I felt like it was like, okay, let's sweep it under the rug. So XOL, you know, we can do this comeback and we can feed XOL or whatever. So it's kind of actually sad to hear that, like, the fact that SM even tried to like use that as like a little threat. Like, well, you know, we would love to make a Christmas song, but you hosts are out here wilding or whatever. And they were literally like, well, we know that you're probably like playing us and scamming us, as we are you. But
it seems like. I was like, okay, you both seem wrong. I don't know.
We're still gonna clock in. We wouldn't do that to Kyung-soo. And you know, at the end of the day, that's what.
Well, Kyung-soo, I think, didn't even sign his contract, so like his renewal. So he's not even. He doesn't have anything to worry about, probably.
Well, I tried. Yeah. All right. So to the question of who pulled you into what's your bias group, or what's your favorite group? Who pulled you in, and who did you end up standing? Andre says, so I will say when I got into SNSD, Sooyoung was the one who caught my eye, and then slowly I stand every. What a diplomatic answer.
I know, yeah. Wow. Who's your real fave?
Yeah, tell the truth. No, just kidding. Yeah, honestly, Sooyoung, I feel like she always had a unique look to me, but I always remember her being very funny on reality shows. So honestly, I know I just said like people who like are attractive to me tend to catch me. I think also if somebody's like, if I watch a variety show and there's like somebody who's just so funny, I like will stand them.
Yeah.
I feel like you stand a lot of dancers, right?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Do I?
I feel like, or maybe I made that up.
I know that for Shiny, I did get into them because of Taemin. Mainly because of his hair. And he's Lucifer. Like his hair, and then the dancing, obviously, yeah. But I don't know if it was like specifically his dancing. I thought everyone was dancing pretty well, because I was like, I don't know K-pop. I don't even know what's happening, but I like what I see.
Who are you people? Leon says, for me, it's Astro. I think it was either Moonbin or MJ that caught my eye first, and my bias ended up being Jin. Oops. Daisy says, I got into VIX and Leo, right? Leo. Is it Leo? I will never know. I'm a fake VIX stan. Actually, I'm not really.
I might be too, because I just like, once I say a name the way that I say it, it's hard for me to not say it that way. It might not be Leo. It's like Rose. Like, it's hard for me to remind myself that it's Rose.
Same. Oh my god. And I remember when I first said it wrong, the blinks quickly gathered me, and I said, sorry, queens, I'm so sorry. It says in Hangul it's Leo, so I think Leo, which
is Leo in my head.
And Ravi, subunit. Then when I got into the group proper, interesting. So it's like a subunit that drew you in. I don't know if I've ever had an instance like that.
You know,
or maybe like somebody solo that drew you in, and then you checked out the group.
I don't think so. Not for me.
Yeah, me either.
Ooh, I know for Infinite, I used to like L, and now my favorite's Woohyun.
Dang, L kicked him to the. Is he still in Infinite?
Yeah.
Did he leave? Oh, I thought he
left.
left.
The only one that's not there is Hoya.
Oh, he was on the man version of Street Man Fighter.
Oh, really? Oh, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, he's cute.
He's a good dancer.
Yeah, and he's a good dancer.
He's cute. And that's it.
I just said, how about no more press conferences unless
yeah. I was trying to find pictures of that press conference, because I was like, did this actually happen, or was that a fever dream or something? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
There's no pictures at all. It's just, I think it happened, and then
and no one took photos. That's crazy. They should have been wearing Hee-jin chic.
Honestly, like all the hats. They come in looking like Red Velvet and Dum Dum. Like, hello everyone. All the cameras, stop. I can't see. You got to start off like that.
Imagine they just copy verbatim. Just pull up the text she pulled up. Like they don't have their own evidence.
Like said, we got to be Espa. I was like, what? We're the same company. Why would we do that? It all didn't make sense.
Imagine. Like, it's like, why are we doing it? Why are y'all playing? Chin, go back home to your kids. Stop playing around. Shumin, you too. Don't act just because it's private. Doesn't mean we don't know. Jordy says FX Luna pulled me in, but I stand Crystal the most. I still like all 5 though. Same. I don't know if anyone specific. I think musically FX pulled me in, but I at the time I was really obsessed with like K beauty, and so you remember those like iconic Etude House campaign that Crystal and Sully did, and I think they did one with Shiny too, who were like models for a while, or maybe they were like, I don't know, maybe it was just a special thing, but I loved those like when they would do like the makeup whatever. It's like I thought those were so pretty, but yeah.
I think I liked Amber first in FX.
She did stand out to me because I felt
She
like
was
all
wearing
of
sneakers. I was like, "Ooh, look at that one!" So she's out here dressed like comfortably. That's what I want to be. That's what I need.
She's got the right idea. Daisy says, "Yeah, this with this one, I'm biased. It's down SM every time because they got 100 haters. One of them is me, and no haters."
I will say, when I was looking at the comments of people's like reactions to this, it seemed like in Korea they were like, CBX needs to shut their mouths and stop trying. Well, I feel like everyone else like internationally is like, SM sucks. SM, stop trying. Why are you doing this? Really? Like winter album, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, Korea seems like they're just like dragging.
Damn. Wait, where do we think this is coming from? Have any of them done anything bad?
I don't think so. I think it's just I think the 10% them not paying. That they're like, how dare. Maybe if it was like the 5, if they switched the percentage. I'm kidding. I don't know. I was like, maybe if they owed 5.5% and SM owed 10%, then they'd be like, hold up, that's more. SM, what are you doing?
They just did basic math and they're like, we think that CBX is in the wrong.
Yeah. They actually 4.5% is owed.
Shumin, see, the thing is, Shumin is the accountant of the group, so he needs to get it together. He needs to get it. He needs to send the check. Like, why is he making
no math? I barely know how old I am. What is happening? What year is it? I don't know.
Imagine. Shumin, you better get the typewriter, get the abacus, crunch the numbers, okay? Because we're not playing with you. Chin's kids need to eat. Baekhyun's, I don't know, dog needs to eat. Stop. Anyway.
Well, Chen was on, what's it called? That Zico show. So he seems like he's doing stuff.
Wait, what Zico show?
Zico show? Remember Dio was on there?
Okay, yeah. Which, did I yell at Zico for that yet?
Yes. Okay. Saying that you should have had that duet.
Mm-hmm. Jenny Ruby Jane stands, sit this one out. Instead of Jenny, because she has so many, she's killing it. Did you see that video of her like walking for like some Chanel show and people were dragging her or whatever?
I mean, I don't put that past people. If you're not a model by trade, they will drag you.
Which is crazy because it's like, was this a LeSera from Coachella moment where she got set up? Because at the end of the day, somebody had to approve that. So like, don't blame her.
She bad?
She was just like not a model. I mean,
she just wasn't supposed to be there.
No, because like they clearly were like, okay, Jenny is Jenny Ruby Jane, like period. Like she's closing the show. And then Dula Peep had like tweeted about her, too. So it's like everyone was there to support her, but I guess the walk wasn't serving, it wasn't giving face, so people were dragging her. But yeah. Let's see. Anthony says, when I got into 2NE1, Minzy stands out for me. Minzy was very slayful, and she was also my age, so I was like, okay, girl.
Yeah, I think that's why she was my favorite. I was like, she's out here singing, she's out here dancing, and she's my age. All right, that's my favorite, and it stayed that way until she
was. I think CL also stood out to me because I think her like rap was very powerful and like her presence was very powerful.
She was probably my second favorite.
Yeah, and then. Gosh, I'm really trying to remember how I feel because I kind of remember watching the Fire video. Oh no, the Lollipop video. That was the first one that I got. And I was a jealous fangirl, so I was like, stay away from them. No, just kidding. I didn't really care that much. But I was like, okay, who are these girls? Female Big Bang. Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's see. Well, Schumann is literally in a debacle, so I don't know if he has the coin to spare right now. Stop. He's doing press conference. He's doing invisible press conferences. What's up with him? I don't think I downloaded the picture. I'm so sorry.
Of what?
of Xiumin. Actually, do you want to share your screen to show the Xiumin?
Ugh, I'm kidding now. I can do it.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, wait, I forgot how to do this again.
I also forgot, so like, bear with me.
Wait, we have the little intro. Wait, where is it? I'm being sabotaged. Okay, there we go.
I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend.
Oh, you said. So what is the unemployment king? No, just kidding.
He's still hosting that one show. And then he also still does his YouTube channel. But the thing that I had was just like, not even really. It was a Xiumin and a Sunflower.
See, Xiumin, you don't deserve this.
And literally, the Xiumin is literally not even like something he's doing. I just thought it was funny to look at. Let me see. So, like, for some reason, I just randomly came across this where they're like, this picture has candidates confused whether it's GD or Xiumin, and I was like, literally, like, I was like confused. I was like, wait, is that Xiumin? And then I looked at the comments. Wait, who do you think it is?
Oh, it's Xiumin for sure. Is it not? Oh wait, everyone guess in the comments.
Oh,
it has to be Xiumin because they do look very similar, but I feel like Xiumin looks like a cuter version. Like he has just like bigger features than GD, but it's like a very similar shape face. But I definitely think that's Xiumin. If that's not, let me not.
People were saying in the comments that it's not him. That is GD. And I was like, do I not know my fave anymore? Like, I was confused. Like, I felt like everybody was like saying it was like not Xiumin. And I was like, he's made this face before.
I was gonna say I couldn't see GD making this face after 2008 or 2009. Like, I don't see it. Like, but I guess because it was in black and white, it was throwing people off. Like, I don't know. But yeah, definitely Xiumin, I think. The eyes give it away. And like the nose a bit too. I don't think their noses are very similar. It's a GD filter, imagine. It's GD with a filter. It's GD with a Xiumin filter. He was like, let me keep the girls guessing. But wait, it is Xiumin, right?
People just keep saying it's G-Dragon in the comments, so I'm confused.
Wait, where did they get the picture from?
I don't know.
So
it's confusing me.
Is this picture real? Are we sure it's real? This is AI.
I think it is real.
To me, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, like in the comments of like the original post, it's like, I thought that's Xiumin, but it's GD. And then everyone's like, isn't this Xiumin? And it's like, everyone's confused. So
that has to be Xiumin. The eyes don't look like GD. Okay.
I can see it being his eyes. Like when I actually think about it, I was like, oh, now I'm like, oh, it does look like G-Dragon if I really thought about it.
It does, but I think that Xiumin's eyes are just so big. Like, I think that has to be Xiumin.
I would think so, but every majority comments are saying it's GD. So I was.
I think they're confused. They're just confused. Not
being gaslit is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm being gatekeeped. I'm being girl bossed right now. So that's definitely Xiumin. Yeah. What if it ain't? It could very well be AI.
Oh, that's scary.
Because what is the top of it is kind of weirdly warped.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, he's wearing a fedora, but also it's like a fedora with a dog on it. Like, I don't know what this thing is giving.
It looks like a warped version of him around. Like, I don't know if maybe it's a filter. Because you can see a repeat of his eye at the top. But I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so scary. It's like looking into my soul. Okay, this is the scariest picture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, and it confuses me. I don't like it.
But also, when did Xiumin ever have this hair?
He's got this hair.
Okay, maybe I don't know. Because I know Gigi had this
so
hair.
like in like shimmy shimmy cocoa pop. His hair was like this.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I lied. I think it's true though. The eyes, I feel like, are the telltale.
Yeah, I thought it was just everything at the bottom half looks like Schumann. Like it's a face he's made. I'm like, this is Schumann. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's giving Schumann. I can see how you think it's or how people think it's cheaty, but it's giving Schumann. I feel like the people saying cheaty don't know like Schumann's face well enough. I'm just making that up. I don't know, but yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Not you making Schumann share his minute with Gigi.
I was
Also was tongue.
the whole entire drama. I was like, I don't want to focus on that. Focus on something like that's fun. Like, who is that? It's like an optical illusion.
You're like, we have to have fun sometimes. Listen, it can't always be serious business.
Listen. And the other thing I had was that Sunghwa is living his best XOL dream. Like he did the Rover dance last year with Kai. Now he's doing the challenge of I forgot what Suho's song is called. Whoops. I don't know. Is it playing? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, you can't? Oh, the sound is so loud.
It was like, huh.
Oh, cheese.
Aww. Also, yes, it's Suho wig.
Oop, not me opening the whole entire Twitter.
Wow, even Suho got more time than Schumann did in this segment.
Well, you know, it'd be like that.
Oh, okay, Suho trombone. What? Okay,
Wait,
he's moving the bones.
I just realized, would this get like put down?
I think if it's just a clip, it's not too bad as long as you don't like replay it. Like,
well, there you go. He got to dance with Suho, and he went on live and was talking about like how he was brave enough to go up to him and like sign his CD for him, and like Suho like took him to like the dressing room to help him like learn the dance, and it was like it's a wholesome thing, and I was like, oh,
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Also, another thing with Suho was that like, do you know Belle from
Beauty and the Beast?
That group with Natty. Why can't I remember?
Kiss of Life.
Kiss of Life, yeah. Mm-hmm. So she apparently is also a very big XOL. So there was like some like cute video where it's like she got to meet Suho. Like they were like facing different directions, and then she turned around and saw like it was like Suho that she was gonna get to talk to, and she was like so excited, and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool seeing these little XOLs live my dream. I kid. But yeah, it's so cute.
That is really adorable. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. EXO has been like sunbays for like pretty long, but I don't know. I feel like getting things like that, especially with such young new groups, is just like, I don't know, wholesome. Like they were right with us in the trenches when the Call Me Baby video dropped, you know? That's crazy.
So lucky. And she's from like Seattle. So I was like, dang, if you could do it, I could do it.
Listen,
you're American.
I
mean, well, she's also Korean. So that also helps.
But when EXO does their world tour 2025, you might see him in the street. I don't know. Listen, who knows? Oh my God. Did you see that for the P1 pieces? Actually, that can be my whatever. I didn't bring up the video. Sorry, Kyungsoo. Once again, I'm kicking you to the curb. But so P1 Harmony performed at Gov Ball, which is a festival in New York. And this is actually not important at all. Like, please don't. No one please get excited about this. But you know those TikTok videos they make, that genre of TikTok where it's like dapping up tens at this event? Yeah. So it was so funny because some girl, and I don't know, there's speculation whether she knew who Kiho was or not, or whatever. But she was like just randomly dapping up the tens, and then like all of a sudden Kiho is one of the people she dapped up. And I think more than anything that gave me a chuckle was the comment section, because I genuinely don't think she knew who he was, because he was kind of just in the crowd like enjoying the music, and everyone was like, "Is that
She's probably like, the fudge? Who the Keo?
Exactly.
You calling me a
Lord.
key and a hoe at the same time? Whoa.
To fight me,
Uncalled for.
exactly. Out of blocked. But I just thought that was really cute. And they performed at Gumball. So that's it. I didn't even watch the full performance.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm starting to, their songs are starting to grow on me. Honestly, I could listen to a song, maybe. Yeah, not so bad.
I feel like you should probably listen to like their B-sides. There's probably like something in there.
Are those better? I mean, the Take a Chance and then Make it a Taste. That one's kind of growing. I feel like it just seems so like.
I know you wanna fall in love again.
Not even like Disney, original Disney Channel movie, but like literally Nick Jr.
How dare you? Whoa. It's giving old YouTube and give it that. Give it
Ryan Higa parody.
Yes. And I love that. I still to this day will go back and listen to Ryan Higa like songs. Because I love them so
They
much.
were low-key just good. Because I feel like he would like make joke things, but like half of the like his YouTube friends were like actual like that Chester guy. Like,
Yeah.
bad guys finish first or however.
Oh, yeah. Nice guys.
Oh, nice guys finish. Like, what the
Nice
fuck
guys.
was I singing?
I
was like,
you
West, the
trash
guys
it.
finish east. But that was a good song. That was a really good song. Yeah, so that's all I had. Should we parlay to open bar, y'all?
Sure.
All right, y'all. It's that time. What song do I want to play here? We'll play this one again. Oh, I muted the background music. LOL.
Meant to be, we might be alright
Bar.
now.
Open bar.
It's so fine.
Open your bar. Open that bar. Alright, guys. Welcome to Open Bar. A little segment where we talk about whatever we want. Anything we didn't cover. Jasmine, did you want to start us off? Or Kat, whoever.
Wait, what? Oh, BAP apparently is coming back, which I'm excited about.
I saw that. So what is the current? Do we know what the current state of BAP? Like, is it still? I mean, obviously the lawsuit and everything, but are they still like? Is it still the same members?
Well, one of them's went to jail. Hee-jin was like part of that thing, so he's not in the group. And then Zello, he's in the army.
Oh, okay.
So he can't even be a part of it. But I think there's still 4 of them. So like Daehyun, Youngkook. Why can't I remember names? There's 4 of them.
Was Youngkook your mind out of that? Like unnecessary low. Sir, you were 12. Like, what is going on with that voice? No, I'm here for it. Remind me, because I feel like I wasn't really like, I know what happened, but I wasn't super privy. After the lawsuit with TS, did they just, or was it even a lawsuit?
I think it was a lawsuit. It was because they went to court and all that, because it was like basically them wanting to get out of their contracts because they were being abused.
Oh God.
And then I think they won, and then they went to another company. So, and then they had a couple of like songs after that. And then I think they didn't really do much. And then Hee-jin was part of that whole entire debacle thing. Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah, I'm literally like at the wiki, and it's like active from 2012 to 2018 gap, and then 2024 to present. Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing to see. I'm excited. As a stan. But that's fun. I love a little nostalgia, you know. And honestly, I was like, oh yeah, like, so was it just like after the lawsuit, the momentum just wasn't the same? And so
it really wasn't.
Yeah, that always sucks.
I like some of their songs after. I just can't remember them right now. I keep thinking 2 p.m. song, and it's not. Like, I want to say "Put Your Hands Up," but it's not called that.
Ooh, love that song. Okay, yes.
Song.
People are talking about Nayeon's comeback. What? Season 2 and 3? I'm sorry.
I need to judge season 1 first.
Jess was like, I need to see the trailer of season 1. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Like, what happened at the end? That's crazy. I mean, I knew that season 1, they did drop the trailer of season 2. So I knew that was I thought that was already done, but apparently wrapped. But season 3, let's see season 2 first, and then we can see. Unless you mean, I don't even know. Like, that's crazy to see. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it took them a really long time to make season 2. That I don't know if the Squid Game hype is still there. I'll be honest.
I think it'll come back. I don't think it's there, but I think it could come back.
I don't know, because that also was like a mixture of Squid Game hype, but remember that dropped during the pandemic, so it had a little bit of pandemic mania as well, where people were kind of stuck at home and didn't know what to do. So can we really create a phenomenon like that again?
But it's Squid Games.
Oh yeah, there's yeah, I guess.
I mean, the show did well, didn't it? The live action.
I feel like people talked about it. Well, I guess that's the point. They talked about it when it was airing, but then I feel like people got quickly. Yeah, I guess that's like. Did anyone check out Nayeon's comeback? I did. So I have thoughts. I love it. I love the fact that it is giving very Beyonce, Crazy in Love. I don't know. I always liken a like fun, like I'm walking the street, I'm giving you outfits to a Lee You Go Girl. And I think she's the same age now that Lee was when she released You Go Girl. So it's very, it's all coming together. But I love this concept for her. It's very hot girl. It's very slayful. The dance break obviously is getting a lot of attention because it's iconic. I love the outfits. I love most of the outfits. Honestly, the one with the hat and like the I don't even know what it is. Like a tube top thing. I really don't know what that was. I think she should have the outfit she wears in the break dance part. Like that should be her main outfit because that one's very slayful. But what I wanted to say, okay, so like, did you know they like make cheering guides? Oh, so I'm just, but like, so what do the cheering guides usually look like?
What?
Like the cheering guides you watch, what do they usually look like?
Like I only watch like a couple. Like usually they just have like a paper in their hands and they're like they'll listen to the song and then they'll like they'll have like the little light stick and be like da 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 whatever the cheering is. I watched aespa's for I think Supernova and like I think they made it in theirs like in the video like they tried to discuss among each other and like what they would think the cheering guide would be and then they did it, which I think is different than what I've usually seen. But yeah.
Was it just them though?
Yeah, it's usually like them just sitting there, or like the ones I've seen are just them sitting there.
Okay.
Staring at a camera.
Because Nayeon, she posted hers a couple days, or I guess a day ago. And this is so cute. Literally, it's her, I believe this was like the showcase. And it's like her in front of all the onces, like cheering it live. Is that not awesome?
I saw the thumbnail for this and was like confused.
It kind of like is like, I'm like, this would be awkward for me, but I feel like it's so cute. Like, imagine you got to be in the video. Also, this cheering guide or this cheer friggin' slays. Hold on, let me get to my favorite part. I'm sorry. So, like, the ABCD is like a play. It's in the chorus, like Slam Wars. For those of you who haven't listened to it. Okay, A. So it's like, hey, you're gonna be my baby. Every time you see me, something deeper, baby. Huh?
I can't hear.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Yeah.
I like muted it because I wasn't sure if I could play the whole thing without Susan.
Okay.
But it's like
all I see is the
cheer is like super syncopated or whatever, so it sounds really cool. Like it's really fun to do. So I stand. I loved it. Lisa teasing new music. Okay.
Oh, I heard something about her coming back.
I know. Didn't she sign with Interscope? It was like a Western label. People are like gagged. They're like, YG is shaking, throwing up, crying. Losing his mind.
RCA.
Oh yeah. Listen, Lisa's ready to drop some money. Drop some money.
I swear.
That was a moment. That was a pop emergency.
I feel like that was a moment that I was like, maybe I need to reevaluate my feet. I'm kidding. But also, I was like, this song sucks. And I still stand by, I'm so confused on how we were all together on the fact that it sucked. And then suddenly it got popular on TikTok. and then everybody was like, wow, this is a great song. Now it's amazing. I feel like it was not, like, I feel like the initial reaction to Money was not that great.
I feel like people were kind of not like overwhelmed with Lalisa, like the song, like the single, but I feel like from what like, I feel like it was like no attention, and then there was that guy who was like that, remember that guy that people would always use from TikTok? He was like, he would pretend he was crying. He would be like, dollar bills, and then when the drop somebody came on, he would be like, drop some money.
Oh, I probably don't know it because I hate that song.
I think that's what got popular though, low key, if I'm being honest. So, but I feel like before that, people were just kind of like, it's a song. But then after that, they were like, oh, I love that song. Okay, let's talk about 50/50. So I know that they were auditioning new members. I believe they found them, but have they revealed them yet?
I don't think so. I think they just said that they were just going to come back as 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's very interesting. What do we think? What do we think people's opinion are? Like, are people like anticipating this? Do people care? Do people, I know it seems like by the end of this whole debacle, people were very pro
Attract.
Yeah, Attract and Kina. But like, do we think it's about to, like, people are like, okay, we loved Cupid, we're about to eat this up too, or they have to basically reprove themselves?
I feel like they probably have to reprove themselves, but I feel like they'll have enough people enough people interested in their comeback to like at least have people listening.
I don't know. Well, maybe it's just me though, because I literally have the shortest attention span. But I feel like if their name pops up, I'll probably check it out. But am I like, what's in store? Not super really, but not in a negative way, just in like a neutral way.
But that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they'll have enough people that will actually listen to the song because they're interested, because they know like the drama. And if they like it, they'll like it. If they don't, then they'll move on. But yeah, so I don't like, it all depends on how good the song is.
Can lightning strike twice though?
Because like,
honestly, we don't even know, and not to be shady, we don't even know if everything had worked out. Like, the group didn't the whole lawsuit and issue didn't happen. They got to do their Barbie movie promotion. If they would have even like been successful after that, right? So
that's true.
Who really knows? But I'm rooting for them. Good luck. Jazz, Red Velvet comeback thoughts.
I'm excited. Cosmic. It looks so good. I mean, like the pictures and whatnot. I'm excited. Hopefully the song is good. Looks very bright, but like also kind of darkish at the same time, which I feel like, that's Red Velvet. So it's up their alley. So hopefully it sounds good. I just don't need no offense, Queendom.
How dare. See, you're just saying things.
Or now. Rookie. I don't want any of that. You don't like Rookie? I said Rookie.
That's true. Okay, yeah. All right. Faith has been restored.
I want something like Psycho.
Stop! Y'all hype that song. I'm so sorry.
Because it's so good. It is a good freaking song.
I'm sorry, Rebel Love.
Psycho's good. I stand by that. Or Ice Cream Cake. Like, I feel like that.
Oh, iconic. Yeah.
Those two types of sounds where it's like kind of eerie. Like,
okay, yeah.
But music, I like that. I hope it's something like that. Also, what's it called? Chill Kill was also kind of like that. I love Chill Kill. Their last song.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like I remember liking it, but I don't really listen to it. I didn't really listen to it much after that. But yeah, I will, not to be negative, but I will never get the Psycho hype. I just do not understand it. Like, out of all the Red Velvet songs, we're acting like, but the thing is, it's not only you and Red Velvet, because obviously it was a very popular song for them, but I just will not get it.
I mean, how you feel about Psycho is how I feel about Money.
How dare. Listen, Mint, Yungles, she doesn't like Money. I love it. Drop somebody.
I hate the dollar bills. I'm like, oh my gosh, get it out. Stop.
Stop! I love singing. I love singing that part,
hate
like
this
just
song.
at the top of my
I
freaking.
think it's like I feel like if it was just like a regular song and La Lisa was good, I wouldn't mind it as much.
Mhm.
But it was like somehow La Lisa was just not that good. And then we had money, and I was like, well, this isn't good either. And then, but
How dare?
we still propped it up, and I was like, just because it's better than La Lisa doesn't mean it's that great. I'm so sorry. It's memeable.
Yes, and sometimes that's all you need, and
But
it's
and I
fun.
think I
It's
don't
fun to
like that.
sing.
I don't like when songs are considered good when they're memeable. Like that
Well,
Lil Nas X song, I still Old Town Road. No. Like I was like, I get it, memeable, but is it really that great of a song? If we really
I
think
mean,
about
it was okay. So there's memeable, but I think a lot of times when things are memeable, they're also catchy. So I think with the
it,
like money,
good.
it yes, because it does something for you, right? It drills into your psyche or whatever somehow, even if it isn't by like traditional ways. I think it can all fall under one, like,
I feel like you should be
being good.
catchy and good.
I think you can be like that's implied.
No, if it's
Yeah,
catchy, it's
catchy is a
good.
positive adjective. I feel like
Catchy. There's songs that are
you want to be
catchy
like,
that will
oh,
get
that's
stuck in your head
catchy.
that you don't like. I mean, there's
Wait,
so many
what?
songs that are like you don't like, but they get stuck in your head. But there's an
Because it's catchy. That's a positive attribute.
I don't think so.
I feel like it. I mean, I can kind of see what you're saying, but
Like it's an attribute, but I don't think it's negative or bad. I mean, good.
I think there's ways to describe thing that gets stuck in your head that's not catchy though. Like it maybe has a similar. Like I feel like catchy has a positive
Catchy and
connotation, but
bad.
there's it's batchy. It's catchy.
Ah, there we go. And Gatchy. Gatchy or is it Batchy? But I'm in the minority, I feel like, for money. So I'll own that.
I'm in the minority for Psycho, so I'll own that as well. Andre says, well, Mint Yungles says, I feel both supporting them now. And Andre says, I think most of the discussion I've seen is that 50-50 is kind of synonymous with the OT4 that's still calling them 50-50 with new members. But Kina feels with, that's a good point. But I feel like Attract is not going to give up that name brand recognition because literally that's all they have. That the fact that 50-50 was the group that made Cupid. And honestly, I feel like we talked about this last time, but like while, obviously the song was popular and they're getting all these opportunities, they weren't long enough for like people to be like, I only know like these, like a lot of people only knew the song and like only cared about the song. So like a lot of people probably maybe like vaguely know what happened with the lawsuit, but if they were to, as long as like it still sounds good, if they were to come back and still be 50-50, like, oh, isn't this the group that made Cupid? And not really look into it. Well, maybe if they get into the group, they'll look into, oh, okay, this is their history. But I feel like a lot of people would still check it out. But I do agree it is kind of bad, but I don't think the company would give it up because right now that's all they have,
But I also feel like there's so many groups that have just changed like the roster completely.
True.
And then they've gotten just more popular. Like, isn't like EXID not even the original lineup?
Yeah, so many people. EXID, technically Red Velvet, Wonder Girls. They that group was like literally 8 different lineups. Kara, what did I say? Wonder Girls? Yes. I'm like Wonder Girls, also Wonder Girls, and then like Wonder Girls. 2 p.m. I'm naming like people are like who p.m. I'm just kidding.
It's after school.
I mean, yeah, they changed, but they had the graduation concept too. So I'm trying to think. I feel like I know a lot more. Oh, Girls' Day, they changed the lineup. Tiara, I'm pretty sure. Wait,
did they add one person? No.
Even before that, weren't they like a part of? I swear it was like they like were like a group and then they changed the group. Maybe I'm making that up.
Oh, Rania.
Oh my God, Rania.
Yeah. BP Rania.
That Still confused. Yeah, Nine Muses. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I feel like it was actually mad common, especially like second gen, third gen. It was
Yeah.
actually kind of.
So I
Oh,
feel like they can make
EXO.
it, maybe there's a chance for 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance for 50-50.
I mean, SNSD technically it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
super drastic,
They
but
only lost one person.
that's true. But I feel like it's weird when you get to the point where like there's literally people who don't know the group when they were like the original lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely think for like early on group changes, that was like for some reason hella common. Ooh, Andre says, let me pose the question. Do graduation concepts work in K-pop?
They
Well,
do
has
if they
anyone
do it.
I mean, isn't that what NCT is?
And then they didn't do it.
That's true.
They did it, and then they were like, psych, Mark, go back.
Mark has
Go back in that
34
group.
jobs.
And then also still be in that other group. And we'll add you into Super M. Like, it just didn't all make sense. But
Well, technically, Lucas graduated from Wavy, so.
did
What?
he graduate or was he removed? It's like being expelled versus.
You say potato. Oh, that's really funny. You can be expelled or you can graduate. You say potato, I say potato. So
he got his GED and then he became a soloist. That's what he did. He was expelled.
I mean, I feel like if it works, I don't know. It's hard because I'm just like, I think in the sense that like, do graduation concepts work? I don't know. I feel like when the group changes drastically enough, it just becomes like a different fan base. I feel like, but
yeah,
maybe it could. I think if it didn't in classes, like I think if like the whole original Super Junior concept was like a thing where it's like this is Super Junior 05, next year we'll get 06, next year we'll get 07. Kind of like AKB48, except like everyone comes in and graduates together. So it's like this is the class of 07. And it's almost like one of those like trainee programs where like you're there until you get good enough to like, graduate to an actual idol or graduate to whatever the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse thing. But I don't even know if a year is enough to like properly formulate a fan base, do enough promotions that like before the individuals graduate they like actually have a fan base to speak of or whatever. So maybe it would be like, maybe it's kind of like those I feel like the closest thing, no, I feel like a great analogy would literally be the survival show groups, where it's like this is a temporary situation, everyone's gonna move on to something else. And I feel like there's some good examples of that, there's some bad examples of that, so I guess it ultimately depends. But yeah,
I feel like that's a good example until the fact that they literally just cease to exist. Like no one gets added in. It's kind of like they just all disappear into another thing.
Yeah, that's true. But I think in terms of, well, yeah. Oh, well, Kepler.
Oh. They're still the same group though. No one's being added.
That's true, but I think maybe like it's maybe like a mid thing where it's like, okay, this is an instance where maybe some people chose to graduate, but then the other members didn't, and then maybe they're formulating like replacing them, but they haven't gotten to that. So maybe that interim, it's a good example of an interim like that. But I don't know, maybe it wouldn't, because people would just be like, well, if they're gone, I'm gone, type of thing.
Which is, I feel like that should be fine. I feel like that's the point of the graduation. Like there will be people that will leave, and then there's the people that care, because isn't that how AKB 48 and all that, isn't that how it works? Like they all graduate at some point and it's been working for them. It's just for some reason I feel like in K-pop, as soon as they see the initial backlash, it's like they don't, I guess they didn't consider it, and so like when it happens they're like, oh well, we don't know what to do, and then they bring back Mark. In every group they do that. In Super Junior, they're like, Mark, come back. Just all doesn't make sense that they do that. But I think that the only thing I can think of is that they didn't consider any backlash.
Which is, I guess it's crazy, because I feel like maybe it low key kind of like pushes that agenda that like idols are replaceable. And so like the fans are like, actually not, I'll literally leave if you let Mark graduate from this NCT Dream Baby concept.
That's so interesting because I was like, it's not like he just disappeared. He was just like, I graduated and now I'll just be an NCT 127. I only have one job. And they're like, no, no, no. We need you doing every single job. In fact, you're joining Wavy now. Like, I don't know, for punishment, like that's what's happening.
Honestly, there would be a day where they're just like, get his ass on a Wavy stage. Like, let's stop playing around. He's replacing Lucas.
I'm just gonna blink and he's like in a comeback, like in the music video. I'm like, wait a minute, what? What is this?
Imagine that would
He
just
learned
be
Chinese.
so...
He's like, what the? I don't even know why I'm here.
When do you sleep, Mark? Let's be honest. When do you get, what are we doing? Andre says, because I've never seen it work when you say it outright. Like they used graduation to really mean the contract expired. Yeah. But I also feel like it's nice because I always feel like there's like a certain, even though we know like, there's like a 7-year contract or whatever. And then like the idols, they get to choose. Do they continue group? I feel like it's always the first person that's like, yeah, I think I'm done here, who will always get the most hate because even if a bunch of people follow after them, they're going to be like seen as like the stick that broke the dam or whatever, the straw that broke the camel's back, because you basically gave everyone permission to be like, yep, this group's not going to be what it is any longer and stuff like that. So I feel like it's just, I don't know. It's just, I wish graduations could work in the sense that not so greedy companies can be like, we can replace you. But so people can feel like when they feel like, okay, I've done 7 years. I've done my time. I've done 7 years. I feel like I've done what I wanted to do with this group. Let me leave without the idea that by me leaving, I'm forever altering the group and ruining whatever, nostalgia around like the past lineup, was there. Okay, we can do one more question.
Can we go back to that one?
Sure. Which one?
The alley.
Oh.
I think the only possible group who could pull it off would be Triple S. There's just too many girls that you would never notice if a face changed along with the music being also familiar. Which I was like, when I read that, I was like, oh, maybe that's why AKB40 kind of like works, because there's so many of those girls that it's like when one graduates, like sure, it's like a big thing, but there's so many other girls that you can go and stay in after that. So maybe that's why it doesn't really work for like smaller groups, because it's like they were singing so much of these songs because there's like only like 10 of them or whatever, that it's like you'll notice when it's not that person and it's another person taking their part.
That's
I wonder
true.
if that's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. But then even with AKB48, I feel like there's always, I don't know if this is reflected in like the line distribution in songs, but I feel like there's always been like more popular members. Like I know like the original lineup had like that Kami 7 where it was like the top 7 who would like be the most popular. I feel like they would always place really high in that Senbatsu thingy. So it was like even then, but yeah, I guess that's true, because when they left, other girls became popular or got popular because they had to find people to replace them. So yeah, that's an interesting concept. But I would never want to be in a group that big for a while.
Oh yeah, no.
Only if I was like, this is not my last act. Like this is literally a transition. Like I'm gonna chill here. I would want to. Yeah, I would want to be fairly young, to just develop my skills and things like that. But this is not where I'm gonna like lay my like whatever the phrase is.
Just end it.
All right. Well, y'all don't gotta go home, but you gotta get that gotta her. Thank you guys so much for once again joining us in the ever so lovely Sleepy Idol. Jazz, is there anything you want to tell the people before we wrap up for the night?
Watch The Boys. I'm kidding. I haven't even watched it.
Did it already drop?
Yeah, it did, and I didn't even notice it happen until I was on TikTok, and I saw an interview and was like, "Ha, this is an interesting interview." And then they're like, "Watch The Boys, June 12th or something," and I was like, "Wait a minute, what's today?" And I was like, very confused. But yeah, I have to watch that. But I do stream with my other friends, and it's called Forfeit Gaming. We're on Twitch. You should check us out. And yeah, we play games.
Yes, go check them out. Also, I also stream, and I on Twitch, I guess. I'm like, do I? I was streaming last night. If anyone, I don't know. I was for like 2 seconds. I was playing Catherine and then it broke. If anyone wants to come over there, I'm actually gonna just do like a quick like hour, because I'm trying to
Never.
reacquaint.
Logging off.
You're like, everyone's shut down your computers right now.
I'm shutting them down. As soon as this goes off live, their computers are gonna like combust. It's just sorry.
Listen, guys, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. But yeah, I'm gonna hop on. So I'll be on Twitch. .com/pinkcloud. That's also me on Instagram, and then I'm pinkcloud1 on Twitter. And please follow me there for any updates for wherever I go live and for like updates on the show and things like that. And also, if you have like a topic you want us to talk about like during the main section of the show, yeah, you can at me on there, and I will make sure to check it out. So we have stuff to say about it. All right. Yes. Thank you, Andre. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share the video. Yes. Thank you so much. Make sure to do that. And also, everyone give the video. Oh, yeah. Give the video a like. And thank you, everyone, for coming and sticking around and talking, about these topics with us. We always appreciate it. What's this cute? All right, guys. That's it. And I will see you next time. On the sleeping idol. Dream of me.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You're like threatening them.
Don't do it.
I'll be on Twitch in like 2 seconds. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.